Oh man, my camera's not working. Honestly, you know what? Nothing's ever working against tonight, but we get the win. Oh my god. Hold on one second. Why? Hello? Why won't this show up? Oh, wait. One sec. Oh, there we go. Okay. Now we're back? Okay, we're back. Okay, cool. I don't know what happened there. That's new to me. But oh my god. Yo, man. The Cardiac Bulls, they must just love playing in crunch time because what the fuck? Like, guys, come on. I mean, thank God for Vooch, I guess, the last two games and like the last like minutes. But like, dear Lord, man. Yeah, Jesus, guys. Like, like, wait, what are we doing? Like, seriously, man, what are we doing? What? How did the Blazers get back into this game? Like, the fact that they were even, they had a chance to seal it tonight if they just hit 2 free throws. And we're sitting here, I'm just like, really? Like, you guys actually blew this one. Oh, God, but Vucevic did it again. Fantastic game for Vuce all around. It was not the best second half from him, but a really great first half. It was finally a really good Vuce game for once. It took a little bit. And Vucevic comes up clutch again. He's like missing all of his threes in the fourth quarter, and then he hits the biggest one that matters. So I'm glad he hit it. But God almighty, man, if I'm Billy Donovan, I'm treating this like a loss, bro. I am good. I would be so pissed off if I was Billy Donovan right now. I'd be like, what are you guys actually doing? Like, it's not like the Portland Trailblazers are doing anything amazing, like, or schematically that are like, you know, killing us for some reason. It's just straight up, you guys are not boxing the fuck out. Box out. But we won. We miraculously go 2-1 on this road trip thanks to 2 Vucevic really clutch threes at the end of both games. And for some reason, we just never wanted to make it easy on ourselves. I don't know what it is with this team. This team just wants to make things hard. And, you know, we'll just kind of have to live with the results. Sometimes it's hard and it ends up being terrible. And sometimes it's hard and it ends up like this. So, I'm not satisfied at all tonight. I thought the Bulls, honestly, I thought the Bulls were terrible in that first half. They were up at halftime, but I thought they were honestly awful in that first half. And then third quarter was great. The Bulls were doing everything right. And then all of a sudden, that fourth quarter hit. And there was a moment when Avdija hit like a wide open 3-point shot. I was just like, oh boy, like, is this the avalanche that's about to start? And thank God, bro, that Vooch hit this and the free throws to Avdija and Grant missed. Thank God, because holy shit, it was the avalanche. It was coming. And oh my goodness, man, the amount of offensive rebounds this team had tonight. 26 offensive rebounds. 26. I mean, Klingon himself had 20 rebounds or something like that. And I was just like losing my mind watching this Bulls team throw away this lead because they can't go and secure the ball off the rim. I was so pissed off watching that fourth, but I was also pissed off watching that first half because it felt the exact same way in the first half. I was so upset for most of this game until that third quarter hit where I'm like, okay, you know what, the Bulls, they kind of leveled out finally. Things look okay. And then the fourth quarter hits. I'm just like, what? It's worse than the first half alone. But yeah, all right, we'll celebrate the win, I guess. But we have to chew this team out because this is an unacceptable comeback that happened today. It wasn't again like Portland started draining threes like that. Or just through like just on an unnecessary amount of threes just started to fall. Like Portland only had 12 threes all game. They shot terribly. Okay, but yet it was genuinely that Portland had 86 rebounds tonight. 86 rebounds tonight. Like, it is just holy shit, bro. I can't even believe that the Bulls won this one now because of just how terrible that fourth quarter was and how bad that first half, at least in my opinion, was. Again, I know we're up by 4 at the halftime, but I'm like, the Portland Trailblazers were shooting 38% heading to halftime. We were shooting 51%, and somehow we were up by 4 just thanks to us hitting some more threes and Portland missing 6 free throws. But God almighty, man, this was just so bad. Just chalk this one up as a terrible L, and we'll leave it there for this road trip. So God, man, I don't even know what to say at this point with this team. I'm very confused, honestly, with this team, because it's like you go into Denver and like you actually get like a really solid win where you come out and like you play really well. Like you had leads evaporate, yeah, but like you come out and like you're putting yourself in like a pretty decent spot. And in this game, it's like you're allowing Portland to stick around this entire game when I feel like you should just be going out and destroying them. And it took a Vucevic another clutch 3 for us to win this one. God, man, this team just wants clutch games, I guess. So we'll be here for it. But before we get into it all, though, hit the like button, guys. I sincerely appreciate you guys hitting the like button, tuning to the really late night stream. It's 11:45 p.m. where I'm at, and it's late. But weeknight, we're here. We're here to talk about this team giving us heart attacks because for some reason they just want to give us heart attacks constantly. It's gonna tire Kobe White. Kobe White was absolutely vital in this game, bro. Not just the late 3 that he hit, and also he was the one that created the play for the Vucevic open 3. But I mean, he was hitting 3s left and right all night. His scoring was super vital for this team because this team honestly was not having the best time scoring. There were moments throughout this game that this Bulls squad was kind of struggling on offensive end, especially in that fourth. But yeah, Kobe was super vital for this team in this one. I'm honestly, thank God he was here, because if Kobe was not playing, we don't win this game. But God almighty, man, I just yeah, it's just like, why do we do this, guys? My heart dropped when you let them soar all the way back. Shout out to Vooch for the clutch 3, bro. Vooch, I don't know what it is with Vooch in the, like, recently. Like, he's been pretty bad recently. That fourth quarter against Denver, he couldn't hit a 3, and then he hits the big one. So, I guess we now know that if we need a clutch bucket, go to Vooch. Clutch 3 for Kobe from half court before that. Yeah, I mean, Kobe hit that humongous clutch 3 after Avdia missed a free throw. That helped get the Bulls within 1. And then Grant missed a free throw, so it was 1 of 2 from the line. So, yeah, man, that clutch 3 by Kobe, he was responsible for the last 2 shots. This game should have been this close. Bro, there's absolutely no reason for this game to be this close at all. The fact that we were even down, like, we were down by 3 at one point in that fourth quarter. The fact that we were down by 3 is a travesty in and of itself. That's unacceptable from this team. I'm sorry if you're one of those people that are like, oh, Duncan, you know what? Cut him some slack. No, we're not cutting them slack tonight. Not tonight, y'all. The Bulls have blown leads consistently throughout this season. Whether they've won or lost, they've blown leads, okay? Especially in the second half. This just cannot continue. And the way that they blew the lead tonight is just flat out unacceptable. Like, this just cannot happen. This is straight up, you're not boxing out, you're not trying hard enough to get rebounds, you're not locked in mentally, you're letting Portland just shove you around and get whatever they want on the glass. I mean, look at this, bro. Like, it's insane just to look at what we're, like, these numbers are genuinely insane. Once the Avalanche starting to happen, I'm like, oh, the Bulls don't deserve this one. Like, this is unacceptable by so many aspects. And hey, look, we'll run out of here with the victory. Like, we absolutely just robbed a bank. But God, bro, I'm not happy from this game at all. This game sucked tonight. So I'm glad. Yeah, good job, Vucevic. I'm glad he showed up. But we gotta talk about some people, bro. Vucevic had a good game. He'll have mega awful performances in the next 5. Oh man, the next game is against Miami. I don't expect him to play well against Miami. He seems to always struggle against them. But hey, man, we'll take these 2 clutch shots. We'll take these 2 clutch shots from him if that means we get a bad game against Miami. We'll be cool with it. Kobe pulled it along with Vooch this game, though. Honestly, outside maybe that this felt a mess. This was absolutely a mess for most of this game. Okoro had a really good third quarter. Shout out to him. It was a very vital third quarter from Isaac Okoro. That was very good to see. We saw like Dalen Terry have an overall really solid second half when he did play. I'm honestly really pleased with what we saw with Dalen Terry today. That was good to see. And then obviously, like we said, it was Vucevic, it was Kobe White. Yet again, the Bulls bench is just somehow finding ways to keep them in games here. But yeah, besides that, I think that we can point to almost everybody else tonight and be like, yo, like, this is probably, I think, Giddey's worst game of the season. I'm gonna give him a bit of a pass because he's been the best player for the Bulls so far this season. But it's just like it's these sort of games that I'm looking around, especially when the Avalanche is hitting us, right? It's like, yeah, we need someone to just take over and just score a bucket, man, or just someone just take over, just take the possession. They run through you, and let's just everyone spread out, and we'll figure it out with this guy with the ball in their hands. And Giddey looked lost in that fourth. Like, it seemed like he didn't know what to do in that fourth quarter when the Avalanche was hitting. And I'm like, I guess this is just one of those games where Giddey's just not going to shoot. I know everyone's going to be like, oh my God, the assist is great. And yeah, like, I appreciate the assist, but like, again, if he's going to have the ball in his hands, he's got to shoot more. But again, it's a pass tonight. Because he's been the Bulls' best player this season so far, so I'm not going to be like too critical of it. But moving forward, though, like I expect him to be shooting more, especially in those tough moments. So, but it's not just him that was bad tonight. Kevin Huerter in the starting lineup has not been good so far. He had a good game against Denver, but he's been pretty bad so far since Trey Jones has gone out. Like, he had a horrible game against Utah, good game against Denver, horrible game against Utah, and a horrible game tonight. And this is the Kevin Huerter that we've been praising a lot all season off the bench. So, don't know what's up with this. Buzelis got into early foul trouble, or sort of early foul trouble, but also just bad overall decisions. And then Okoro didn't score in the first half. So, yet again, the starters are having a rough time to start the game, and I don't know why. I know we kind of looked at the lineups a little bit last stream, but it's just like, the starters just have to be better. And like, I tweeted out at halftime that like the starters not named Vucevic have to give us more. And you know, Okoro did step up in that second half, and I appreciate that. Giddey sort of did in that third quarter. But Giddey was also missing layups tonight. That it was just like he hasn't missed those layups all season long. So the bench again. I mean, I know Kobe's like part of the bench right now, but as long as he's part of the bench, he's gonna count as the bench. And he was huge. Ayo continues his great efficiency, but he had 4 fouls today, so he had to kind of limit his minutes, and Terry played well. So yet again, I'm looking at these bench guys, I'm like, why are they outplaying the starters again? But hey, this is the man tonight. This is the MVP tonight, absolutely, because holy hell, bro, we don't win these 2 games without Vucevic on the road. Like, even in that Denver game where he absolutely sucked, like, the Bulls needed that bucket so badly. I think how we got it. I already know Doug is gonna be mad at Giddey for only taking 9 shots. So yeah, I already addressed this, but like, I'm definitely not happy about it. But again, I'll give it a pass tonight. But if this happens again against Miami, which I think is honestly going to be a pretty big test for him, then I'm going to be pretty upset, because like this whole talk about him being an all-star, which I already thought that was going to be pretty difficult, but like people are talking about this guy being an all-star, and I'm like, okay, well, if he's all-star, then you know we have expectations, right? And this is not good enough tonight. So, but again, pass tonight because Giddey's been the best player all season long. I'm not going to be like, you know, getting onto his ass, but I'm getting onto every single one of these players' asses tonight for not boxing the fuck out, bro. Like, you gotta box out. This is simple basketball rules. You have to box out. Everybody right now, like, once we get back home, once we get to the Advocate Center, everyone should be required to come in tomorrow on Thursday. Yes, it's a day off before back-to-back, but everyone should be coming in tomorrow and be like, all right, we are doing box out drills for the next 3 hours. Just box out only. Box out and just box out everybody that's just all the coaching staff. Like, get anybody involved to come on in, and we gotta do box out drills because this is unacceptable. The rebounding numbers are flat out ridiculous, man. Like, I don't know if I've ever seen this in the modern day NBA game where a team has 86 rebounds, but it's just like, I can't even explain to you how pissed off I am for just seeing this. Like, the Blazers had 86 rebounds tonight. They had more offensive rebounds than we had rebounds or more than half of offensive rebounds than we had. You know what I'm saying? Like, they had 26 rebounds. That's more than half of our 44 rebounds in total tonight. That's just offensive. That's offensive rebounds. Like, I am losing my mind right now just looking at these numbers, man. It's just, but. Yeah, we gotta fix this, bro. This just can't continue. I appreciate that. Bulls can't hold on to leads. They just can't. It's like, again, it's lazy analysis for me to say, oh, like, we need a go-to guy, which, like, yeah, we need a go-to guy, but it's also just like, I don't know what the defense is doing. Like, there's all of a sudden, like, the Bulls defense that, like, has, like, these good moments, it just, like, dies when all of a sudden the lead starts to go away. It's like everyone starts to panic defensively, and then they leave a wide open 3-point shooter somehow. Like, we can't afford to do this, guys. Then the fouls start to happen, which is what started happening tonight. It's just like all the fouls just started to click on. It's just like, Jesus, man. Yeah. Ready to get Kobe respect he deserves now. I mean, yeah, Kobe was huge tonight. Like, again, it's like it's him and Vooch tonight by far, easily. Denny's a beast. I wanted the Bulls a few years ago when he was splitting time with Kisper. I mean, Denny has turned himself into a very, very good player. Yeah, triple double for him tonight. I mean, he was part of the charge coming back. He played a ton of minutes on the second night of a back-to-back. Like, he is very, very solid. And honestly, I think Denny could have had a lot more points if he just hit his free throws today. But yeah, man, like Denny has turned himself into a really solid player. He's definitely interesting to watch because he's a lot faster than I think he should be. But like his ability to score off the dribble has taken such massive leaps. So yeah, I'm honestly, it's great to see that for Portland. I think Portland has some issues still overall with their team. I know they're missing so many guys tonight, which is another reason why this should not have been as close as it was tonight. But yeah, seeing Denny how he's doing, like it's honestly crazy just to see. Giddey played Matt. I don't think he actually fucked up, but also it seemed like the ball never ended in his hands shots with setups. I think Giddey honestly was not playing good at all tonight. Like, Giddey had 5 turnovers tonight. Many of them were completely unforced. He had that one in the backcourt where I don't even know who it was, but I think it was Love that like went and missed the dunk. Like, that was an insanely terrible play from him. Like, I don't know what he's doing there. He had that one near the end of the second quarter where he just turned it over. Like, I think Giddey honestly was not very good tonight at all. Besides his typical good passing, which I mean, this was definitely more of a he just found the open guys tonight versus him playmaking tonight. So I was not happy with Giddey. He was also just missing layups. So I'm just like, you've been making those all season long. I don't know what you're doing tonight, but go back to making those, because his shot in the interior has to be there. You know, he hit 2 threes today. He was hesitant to shoot them, though. I don't know why he was hesitant to shoot those threes tonight. I felt like he passed up like at least on 3 threes. So I was not happy with how he played today. Not to mention then his like usual good rebounding. Like, I mean, it's on everybody, but like I usually can depend on Giddey to get the rebounds, and oh boy, it was bad. Booz on our Snickers Sally, but it really was team not great so many minutes. So Buzelis had a rough start. He had 2 bad turnovers to start. I thought his second quarter was pretty fine. And he kind of rebounded from it. He had some nice moves. He had a pick and roll play where we saw that nice move with like the swim crossover. But yeah, after that though, I think his defense was not very good in that third quarter. And that's why he pretty much got benched for the rest of the game. And then Billy tried to sub him in with like 2 minutes left, but I mean, at that point it was just too late. So particularly on those box outs. I mean, I'm going to blame everybody. I think, honestly, Buzelis is probably one of the better people in terms of rebounds tonight, because he had 5 rebounds in 18 minutes versus guys playing 30 minutes and not even having 5. So, I mean, I'm not going to actually blame him too hard for the lack of rebounds, because he kind of did his job tonight. But he didn't play good defense, though. So, I'll say that for sure. Booz needs to show us some consistency, but still a lot of season left. Yeah, I'm not freaking out about Buzelis yet. Like, I'm still seeing some good stuff. Like, he had a nice block today as well. Yeah, he got 2 blocks today. So, yeah, there's some good things even in like these sort of games where it's like he's sort of in foul trouble. Like, he had 3 fouls, I think before halftime or something like that. It was around there. But like some bad turnovers. But like he had some really nice made shots today. And he had, you know, a really good block that showed like his good rim protection. Like, there's some good things. The turnovers though are the one is the stuff that's killing me right now, because it definitely seems like teams are ready to kind of wall anytime he drives, and like he doesn't know how to adjust to it unless he's able to get to his left hand. So that's going to be something I think for him moving forward, is like, okay, when I'm driving and I see a wall, right, or someone tries to swipe in or something like that, it's like, how can I make sure I don't turn it over? Once he kind of gets that kind of down, which, you know, that's just understanding how to use his counters, right? Once he understands that, then it should kind of get more cleaned up with his driving ability and everything, but it's going to take some time here. I can definitely tell that he's in that sort of learning process right now of like, oh, like the defense isn't going to allow me just to drive this way like how they allow me to drive rookie season, because now they're actually like concerned about him driving. So if you give Buzelis like a one-on-one drive, it's like, oh, that's not a great idea now. But what's it gonna take now to not have the tunnel vision? So when he does drive, like, okay, like if they build up a wall and try to stop me on my drives, then what's my counter? That's gonna be the next step for him, honestly. F, was that defending? Oh, sorry. What do you? I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, Ryan. I'm not sure what that F was. That defending? Sorry, I'm not sure. I'm late on chat. I'm sorry. Practice should just be defensive rebound. Oh, for sure, yeah. Revocation, because I agree with Mr. Bang 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 himself, because the box were horrific. I mean, yeah. I mean, if Stacey King's ever gonna, you know, have an agreement with something with us, it's gonna be, yeah, box out, please. Like, dear Lord, that's never gone away, no matter how much the game has changed. I'll take the win. Honestly, this was hilarious. I mean, was this really hilarious though? I was pissed off this game, Brand. I was not happy for most of this one. You can tell from my tweets in the first half that I was just like, I was not happy. I was saying, like, in that first half, like, if this continues, then the Blazers are gonna hang around. And it got so bad in that fourth quarter that I was freaking out. I was just like, you cannot be serious. Like, you guys had a horrific first half in terms of boxing out, and you're allowing the fourth quarter to be even worse. Like, this is crunch time, y'all. You gotta close out this game. And all of a sudden now we can't get a damn rebound. Like, I was just astounded by what I was watching. We'll see Rodman ASAP. I mean, as much as I love Rodman in today's NBA, that's not gonna work out. Just a rebounding expert is not gonna really work out in today's world, but or rebounding / defensive expert. As much as I love Rodman, you have to bring something on offense. But yes, we need people to rebound like Rodman for sure, bro. But not even rebound like Rodman, just give effort, man. I think Montes played a bad game. I think overall, because of Montes' lack of minutes, it was a overall bad game, which you can blame Billy if you want to, but early on was not good for Montes. Like, that first quarter was not good from him. Too many turnovers. He got benched immediately, and then I think I'm more critical of his defense in that third than maybe some others are. Like, I was like, the Bulls won that quarter pretty convincingly, but like, he had some rough moments on defense where he was guarding, like, Jeremy Grant got blown by, and then he's guarding like other guys, and he's not doing that good of a job. So I think Buzelis could have had a better game today. So I don't think it was that good of a game from him. The box score is like, yeah, it looks pretty decent, but I think he needs to improve on some things here. Honestly, Vucevic was a huge reason they blew the lead, in my opinion. Oh, I think that's absolutely deserved. I think Vucevic was missing a ton of three-point shots, and then he was defensively, he was getting wrecked by Klingon and couldn't get the freaking rebound. So, but again, I don't know who's gonna hit the shot at the end, right? So, yeah, I mean, it's him, but also many others for, you know, giving up as many offensive rebounds as they did. Wonder how the Blazers and fans are feeling. Yeah, I don't know, honestly, because like their owner's trying to win, but like the Blazers really shouldn't win right now. And like for the Bulls' sake, it's like actually kind of like if they're trying to get their pick right, it's like, you know, if the Blazers won, it's like not the worst thing in the world, but yeah, I don't know how they're feeling, honestly. Like they're probably, I mean, the people there obviously are feeling deflated, but if you're like a Blazers fan that's like not sure where the direction of the franchise is going, then it's interesting. Yeah, I lose hope real quick. Well, I mean, bro, I think honestly, it's if you're losing hope real quickly with this team, I don't blame you, because this team has given up way too many leads, and just to see like a little bit of a run from some other team, it's just like I honestly start to get nervous. I'm like, you guys cannot allow this to happen again, right? And because we just don't really have that like sort of like go-to guy, and maybe it's gonna be Kobe here, but like because we don't really have like a guy that's like, okay, you know, shit's out of hand, here's the ball to this guy, let's run this play, let him make the decision. It's like, it's really nerve-wracking because it feels like that it's still, oh, we have to depend on everybody on offense when the game all of a sudden changes and the defense starts to lock in and you can't get those shots in the paint like you're getting early in the game. So I really don't feel good when the avalanche starts to happen, and I'm just like, oh god, like who's gonna step up here? And it took, you know, very late for someone to step up, and the Blazers missed some free throws. How many assists did Kobe end up with? I believe 7. I believe there's 7 assists for Kobe tonight. Very good game. He had that one bad turnover, but like that was honestly the one bad one, I think. But I think Kobe honestly played a spectacular game, off ball and on ball. Vooch also had his pauses on getting a lot of the box out fails, but a few offenders peaked there. Oh, I mean, yeah. Vooch was 100% part of the box out fails. But I'm looking at everyone else. Like, Io missed the box out, like, in that fourth quarter that, I think it was, who was it? Honestly, I don't even know. It might have been Kamara, but, maybe it was Grant. But it was just like, Io missed the box out, and then I'm like, yo, Giddy missed the box out. It's just, Okoro can't even get a freaking rebound. It's just, like, guys, like, come on, man. Vooch was definitely part of the problem, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, at this level of problems, it's everybody. It's not just Vucevic. That's on everybody. Nice fair. Vooch was also the problem in his strength. Oh, for sure. I mean, Klingon was definitely just kind of shoving Vooch around, which was really annoying to watch. The last stretch with Dalen and Phillips tonight, they looked solid at worst together for a good bit of time. I think Dalen specifically looked pretty solid. And Phillips looked okay. Like I think that Phillips could have gotten more minutes tonight, but you know, I didn't really need Javon Carter minutes tonight, but you know, he played. He had a 3. But yeah, I think we could have seen some more Phillips minutes, and like he's honestly doing okay. DT is, you know, he's played well these last 2 games, so he's kind of like pushing Billy Donovan to get his way into the rotation, which is good to see. I don't really expect to see this level of impact though consistently from Dalen Terry, but if we can rely on him to kind of be a spark whenever like shit's kind of rough, like stars get off to a bad start and maybe some of the main bench units can't get going, like just kind of throw him in there, like, you know, sure. Yeah, but this was, to me, honestly, like one of Dalen Terry's like best games of his career. Like I'm being dead serious. Like I know that he's had games where he's like scored a lot of from like 3-point range, but like he had a drive tonight where he drove and finished with his left hand and got fouled. I was just like, that's the best I've ever seen Dalen Terry drive and finish in his career, like just straight up. And then to see like him defensively, like he was getting many deflections on defense, like that's not consistent from Dalen Terry, and I think that's something that he needs to be consistent at doing. But we have not seen that consistently from DT, and to see that tonight is like what's something like to me it's like his best all-around game of his career. And so it's good to see, like he didn't make a 3 tonight, but like you can be effective without making 3s. But he has to bring it every night, and I just unfortunately it feels like some nights he's not fully locked in. So maybe it's a good start here for DT to kind of stay in the rotation. Unfortunately though, Trey Jones we expect to come back here soon, and then that's another guy, right? That's gonna be another guy in the rotation. So he's gonna have to really fight for his rotation minutes here. So if you know Trey Jones misses another game, you know he's got to play really well again. I don't think Giddy expected Sissoko and Kamara to be that good at defense. I mean, if he didn't expect that, then I don't really know what the scouting report said then, because that's a failure on the Bulls. I mean, those guys are very solid defensively. So, yeah, I mean, like Kamara has been. I mean, Kamara. I was tracking Kamara's recent stats because. Like he's had a rough go recently. Like he has not been able to shoot, and like the percentages were not good tonight either. But like the one thing you know is that he's great defensively. So if Giddy was not expecting that, then I don't know. This is the code we're gonna get. I wonder if they can get something from the deadline. I mean, right now, yeah. For me, I'm like this. It's too early to be talking about like Kobe, like, you know, deadline and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, if Kobe's going to consistently put up, you know, 25 off the bench right now in just 27 minutes tonight, like, I mean, we'll see if that ends up turning into something valuable. But for now, I'm like, let's for me, I'm gonna be waiting for him to get into the starting lineup before I'm being like, oh, we need to, maybe we should look to trade him, because like I think the time to trade him has already passed. So I think it's time just to we need to see him in the starting lineup, and then we can make our judgment from there. I'm gonna hope, because they increased his minutes limit tonight to 26 to 28, that I'm gonna hope that I'm gonna assume he's not gonna play against Miami. Maybe he does, but I mean, I would hope he does if he's gonna choose one of the two to play against Miami instead of the Wizards. But either way, whichever game he plays in, whether it's Miami or the Wizards, I want to see him get to 30 minutes. It seems like that might be the plan. And if he's allowed 30 minutes, I think he should start. So I'm gonna hope that's gonna be what they do. But if not, then we'll have to wait a little bit longer before we see the starting lineup. So I'll be interested to see when that does happen. But before we even talk about like Kobe like deadline talk, I would rather let's wait for him to start first before we kind of get that, because I mean, there is definitely the argument why, because obviously he's on the last year of his contract. You're not going to be able to extend him, and he's an unrestricted free agent. So it's like, do you want to risk losing him for nothing, or you want to ride it out and just pray that he re-signs in free agency? But for now, I think that we have to wait and see before we start talking about like Kobe deadline deals. At least for now. I think get back to me at the end of December, and we'll have some more discussions. Are they trade Kobe? I think it's like I just said. Like, I think it's because last year of his contract, he's not going to accept the extension the Bulls can offer him. It's basically 4 years, $85 million, which is not enough. So he's going to be an unrestricted free agent no matter what. So it's just like, if he's putting up like 25 a night, and like he's doing this off the bench, right? It's like, oh, is this like maybe a trade candidate? Because you could just lose him in the offseason for nothing. Like, he could just go sign somewhere for less money. And like, you can offer him the most money in the world, but he could just be like, I'm gonna go to this contender because I want to go win. And you lose him for nothing, right? So there is that argument. But for me, I'm just like, let's wait before we get to that. Let's wait for him to start first, then we can talk about it. I don't want to deny it too much, but Kobe trades, because they can't win with this roster anytime soon. It's better to have full-on youth so they get that guy to build around, I feel. So it's basically just trying to cash in on value, right, before it potentially could leave you for nothing. But again, we'll wait. We're gonna have to wait and see. He always holds his fingers a lot this game between plays. I did see that. I think it was, I couldn't tell if it was after a play where he swatted down a ball. But I'm gonna hope that that's not like a sprained finger or something, because that will absolutely mess up his shooting. But I'm hoping that's nothing too serious. Stop fingering shooting a three like that sounds rough. It definitely sounds rough for sure. Yeah. I can tell for the tweets you were pissed, and rightfully so, bro. I was not happy for most of this game. Yeah. Taj Gibson said Dennis Rodman. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we can bring in Taj maybe. My question mark is why he felt slow-footed. I don't know if it was just because of the fouls or something, but he definitely looked slow-footed against Jeremy Grant tonight. That's not good to see. What's the PF stat column? It's personal fouls. This is personal fouls. These are the fouls that each person had. I've had a bad sleeper, who knows, but seemed unusually lower energy when he's often so springy. He definitely did not look as springy as usual today, and that's not good. So I'm hoping that I don't know if it's just sophomore slump, or if it's just he twisted his ankle early in the season, and it's just maybe like it's still just some effects from it. I'm not sure, but I'm hoping that it's just like it's either he was not fully engaged into the game because of the foul issues early, or getting benched early, or if he's just just tired. Who knows? But he's got to bring it against Miami. We're gonna need him against Miami for sure. That Miami squad, man, like, that is no walk in the park. That's gonna be a legit team. So we're gonna need him, especially because of all the guys Miami have. Steve asked whether Robin works, but probably for actual style Duran for those rebounds. Yeah, we need Kobe to be the closer, in my opinion. I think right now, for what I've seen, like, I think Kobe is more capable of being the a closer in a sense, but it's still he's gonna have to still prove to me, though. Like, it's still too early for me to say, oh, he's the closer. Like, he's gonna still have to prove it to me. Because, like, reminder to everybody, Trey Jones, like, he has been kind of like the de facto guy to have the ball in his hands in crunch time this season. So, like, you know, the thing with Trey Jones is that you know he's not going to turn over the ball. So, you know, he's not the scoring threat that Kobe is, but, like, you know he's not going to turn it over. So, Kobe's going to have to show me, like, yeah, he's not going to turn it over, and he's going to be able to generate shots in a, you know, a tougher defensive, you know, sequence, because crunch time, the defense locks in, it's hard to get into the paint, and the game's slowing down. So there's a lot more on his shot, you know, creativity ability in those moments. So I think that he has the skill set to do it, but it's going to have to be shown, right? We can't just, like, give it to him just right off the bat. So, you know, Giddey's going to have got his chances, and, you know, I think Giddey honestly did a pretty good job against Denver. But yeah, I mean, like, we saw the way that the Bulls had to close out that game. It was a Herter 3-point shot and a Vucevic 3-point shot. So, I'm gonna be. It might still just be we're gonna have to do this by committee, and that's fine. But we're gonna have to, you know, if we're gonna do it by committee, then we still need certain guys to penetrate the paint effectively. And that's gonna be, you know, Giddey and Kobe's job to do that. So, Tony Adams purely as it wasn't rebounding focused as resulting rebounding partly from boxing out. Yeah. And Adams, like, he just is one of the best box out guys ever. Nothing against Vooch, but Kobe was the one who generated the shot. Oh, for sure. I think Kobe did a fantastic job generating that shot. He was everything in that possession. Like, first and foremost, by the way, when Kobe was driving, I was not happy, because I tweeted out in the middle of the game, I was saying that no, the Bulls need to go for the win here, because if the Bulls, let's say, go for the tie, right, and you know, Blazers didn't have any timeouts left, but, like, if you go for the tie and, you know, Blazers just miss, like, whatever shot that they miss, like, overtime in that sort of situation where they just made a comeback and you're on the road, it's a horrible spot to be in. Like, you need to go for the win in that spot. And when Kobe was driving, I was honestly really nervous about it, because I'm like, oh god, like, Kobe might go for the two here. He might get fouled, not get the call, because, you know, whistles don't blow in the last, you know, minute. But Kobe decided to drive and kick it back out. Thank God he did. That was the absolute correct decision to do so. And Vooch knocked it down. So, this is one of those unwritten rules for me, where I know that some people disagree with me, and, like, you know, unwritten rules are unwritten rules that people are just like, they always have, like, you know, different ideas of should there be unwritten rules. But, for me personally, I think in these moments where it's like, you're on the road, like, you should be going for the win. Especially with how the Blazers they just came back, the crowd was in it, like, it genuinely felt like an avalanche, but they give you a small chance, and I'm just like, I would much rather you just go for the win. If you happen to not make the 3-point shot, then okay, you know what, we didn't deserve to win this game anyway. But if you can go for this win right now and just steal this game and run out of this gym and get the hell out of Portland, like, with a bag of money from the bank, then you do that. Because if you go to overtime, I don't think you're winning this one. I genuinely believe it's going to be a really rough overtime for you because of what just happened. So I'm very happy they went for the win today. Thank God they did. Because if they went for the 2 and they made it, like, but even if they went for the 2 and they missed, I would have been pretty pissed. Obviously, if it's a wide open layup, you take it. But I think the play drawn up should be go for the 3. I think that's what you should be doing in that spot. So yeah, Blazers have some oddly large players on the court, and that it's proportionally larger than I expect sometimes. And that's with their just current situation. A lot of guys out, you know, no Holiday, no Shane Sharp, so like that's their backcourt. And yeah, so like you're starting Avdi at shooting guard tonight, which, you know, he's a small forward / power forward. So definitely a very big lineup out there tonight due to their lack of available guys. So, but what the okay. This is weird. Like, Holiday's out for injury. So is Shane Sharp. These are not DMPCDs. This is incorrect. So, like, Scoot Henderson's been out for a while. He has, like, a tear. So I don't know why it says that. But yeah, this is definitely, you know, a game you should win first and foremost. Like, this is like the Pistons game where there's a bunch of guys out. Now, it's not the entire starting lineup, but, like, you should be winning this game. And the fact that you almost didn't is just flat out disgusting. So yeah, like, okay, we're not happy from this win, but we'll take it. I don't think I ever expect how big Grant actually is next to somebody. Jeremy Grant is a very big dude. He doesn't always play big, but he is a pretty solidly big guy. Yeah. I think we think of him being bigger like in his Denver days maybe, or like I don't know, like his Piston days weren't really that, he wasn't really that big either, but he's pretty big for sure. It was a great drive and drew defenders in and gave Vooch the easy shot, and he capitalized for sure. Yeah, Kobe did everything there. Perfect drive, collapsed the defense, and got the open look. Only we can see the team grow this season with letting teams come back and establish young identity, which we were trying to do. I think. I mean, my issue right now, unfortunately, is that I think that this team right now, its identity is that we give up leads, and does it come back to hurt us? It might, like how we saw in that Utah game where we gave up a 15-point lead in the second half and we lost. Like how we gave up a 12-point lead to San Antonio and we lost, and how we gave up a 18-point lead in Cleveland and we lost that game as well. Not to mention then also the run that Cleveland went on in the last minutes. Or, I mean, in Denver, we gave up 2 double-digit leads in that game, but we still won. And then today, like, I mean, we absolutely collapsed tonight, but we still were able to fail successfully and get the victory. So, unfortunately, just that alone for what I've just said, it's very, very like that's the Bulls' identity, is that you're never out of a game if you're down by double digits. And like the Bulls are also like not really ever out of a game because they can also just kind of with their pace go on a bit of a run. So I don't really know what to say about that. It just seems it's kind of variance basketball, which I don't love. And I want this team to be much more solidified than that. So I'm hoping they're learning. I'm hoping they're understanding what's at stake in certain moments. Like, just because you have a 21-point lead in the fourth quarter does not mean you get to just stop playing, okay? You still got to go out there. You got to get the defensive rebounds first and foremost, but you also cannot be fouling as much as they did in the fourth quarter. Your defense has to stay locked in. And offensively, you got to make sure that you get good shots, especially when you're on the road. Guys got to capitalize, and I don't know what that fourth quarter was so bad. It just seemed like guys were just deer in the headlights, and it took yet again the vet to try to bail us out. But I want this team to not have to be relying on vets, because as much as these victories are great, it's like the reason why we're getting these victories is because this guy has been hitting some shots at the end. Like Herter hit a big shot at the end. I'm looking at, I mean, I'll give Giddey credit for that Denver game, but like I'm looking at these guys right now and I'm like, I mean, and Kobe was huge to end this one, but like guys gotta, I mean, before even that, like there was some like not so great possessions from Kobe in that fourth either. Like he got stripped with like a minute 30 left to go. Like these guys gotta grow up quick here. And understand the situation. Can't be panicking in these moments, but it's part of being a young team, and your team is led by some of these young guys, right? If this team was led by Chris Paul at point guard, at like even 36, like it would be a different story, but we don't have a Chris Paul, at point guard right now. So it's definitely something that we gotta clean up quickly here, and guys gotta lock in and understand that like games aren't over, man. I feels like with young players sometimes, if they just kind of think the game's over, the game isn't over. We have to make sure that we understand that the game's never over until it actually hits 0. Many crazy things have happened. This team itself is part of the biggest comeback in the NBA this season against Philadelphia, so we should know that the game is never over. This was just an absolute collapse tonight, and we failed successfully, so good job, guys. Yeah. Here, I'll also give Terry for Taylor was solid props as well. Yeah. I think Terry was honestly pretty solid in that Denver game and also in this game. During that Dalen Terry and one, he looked fast and decisive. Yeah, like he drove, like he split the defenders and like drove, and then he finished with his left. I was just like, wow, that's the best I've seen Dalen Terry ever drive. So 2 games to start a potential streak. I won't lie, I have very little faith against Miami. I mean, I should have more faith, but I'm honestly really concerned against Miami because Miami is a very, very good offense, and I don't trust this Bulls defense still. So I'm pretty concerned about Miami. But if we win that game, then we should be on a 4-game winning streak after that, because we have the Wizards next, which, I mean, we should be, right? Like we should be winning against the Wizards. There's a chance we don't with this team, but yeah, we should be winning against them. I think Grant is perfect fit for this team. Giddy, Kobe, Grant, Buzelis, Vooch, I guess for now. I'm personally gonna push back against that. I don't think Grant is the best fit for this team. So, I mean, if you're wondering, Jeremy Grant's been coming off the bench most of the season. He's had an overall really solid year, but he's also, like, in his, so far, it's like, I mean, look at last season, for example. Like, it's been kind of inconsistent for him. It's been a weird time in Portland. Like, you know, solid-ish year is not really healthy, though, and then this year also happened. So, but, yeah, he's mostly come off the bench. I don't really know what to say about him at this point. It's kind of meh from him. I'm not personally looking to trade for Jeremy Grant at this moment in time. I don't know. I'll think about that a little bit longer, honestly. Grant can't score, doesn't care about winning. I don't know what I'd say about that, like, far about Grant, but, like, I do think that he needs to be better in terms of, like, being, like, his defense, for example, in Denver before he got the big contract from Detroit, like, he was definitely a better defender, like, in Denver, for example. He was very clearly, like, being better defensively and was more active defensively. The problem with him, though, is, like, it's almost kind of the Patrick Williams issue, where it's like it doesn't feel like he's rebounds enough. The 3-point shot, like, has been overall, like, it's been good, but just this year kind of scares me. So, and, like, you know, it's been better off the bench. So I don't know. And he's 31 though, so I'm not really here for it at this current moment in time. But in terms of just, like, in general fit, like, maybe he is a little bit more on ball than we kind of think sometimes, though. You know, boxing out was bad. Jeremy Grant has 9 rebounds. That is definitely for sure true. Like, yeah, Jeremy Grant doesn't usually get rebounds, and so to see him get 9 rebounds tonight, 4 offensive, is ridiculous. It's like this shows that you were not doing a good job tonight on all levels. Like, this was just flat out disgusting. I'm genuinely shocked at how terrible we did today on the boards. Now, why can't we get the Oldvia from Washington, man? SMH? I do not know that, unfortunately. Sorry, unless that's a misspelled name. I do not know that name, sorry. But they said it would be at least a few more games where Kobe is going to be built back in a starting unit or something akin to that. Okay, cool. So, I guess Kobe's going to be coming off the bench for the next game, which he'll only play one of against Wizards or Heat. We'll see which one he plays in. Like, I think he should probably play in the Heat game, but I guess we'll see if he plays against the Wizards. That's fine. Then the Bulls have one more game. I think it's at the Pelicans on Monday, but then we have a three-day break with Thanksgiving involved. So Kobe's gonna have some more time, I guess. Those games can tire you out mentally over time, but they also they can tire you out mentally, but it also is just like it really it leaves things up to chance, right? Like, if you're always in close games, man, like if you're always in close games, like you're basically just leaving it up to chance in some aspects. Like, there's gonna be moments where it goes wrong for you, like the ball doesn't bounce your way, or you didn't make a shot that you usually make, or something happens where there's like a turnover that is somehow off of you. Like, it's just it definitely can, like, mentally just tire you out, but it also just, like, it really puts a lot of stress on these guys physically. And then after that, it's like, God, man, like, a very just solid victory where you just can, like, you know, you can play the fourth quarter without much stress and not leave things up to chance. Like, it's gonna help your overall record. It's gonna help the team feel better physically. It's gonna make sure that guys feel better mentally. It's just everything. And, like, this is one of those games where you had a 21-point lead in the fourth, and you somehow only won by 1 thanks to a Vucevic 3-point shot at the buzzer. Like, God Almighty. This is just so yeah. This just needs to stop. The Bulls. How many clutch games has it been now with the Bulls? It's been so many clutch games now to start the season. It's just unreal. I was so pissed, man. I was looking at the league. I'm like, if we could get to, like, 25+ point lead, they might take out their stars. And we can finally see Noah play. And then they give up a 19-2 run. Oh, God. I mean, I wasn't even thinking about Noah. I was just like, okay, guys, like, let's just, let's stop fouling. Let's make sure we get the defensive rebound. If we just get the defensive rebound, we're good. And then all of a sudden, we couldn't get the defensive rebound. This was just so awful at so many levels, man. God, I'm honestly, I'm still pissed. I'm still pissed, even though I'm talking about a win today, that I'm just like, holy shit, guys. We legit just committed a robbery. Like, we did not deserve this win. This just is everything in that fourth quarter. I was just like, I want to punch every single one of these players right now. Like, I was also pissed off at Billy in a sense, because I'm just like, are you really not going to call timeout when, like, shit's going rough? Like, he called 2 timeouts too early, and then he didn't want to call another timeout when it was absolutely just coming on our heads. It was just like, bro, like, you called like a timeout when they cut it to 13, and then you called another timeout when they cut it to 10. But then, like, after that, like, they just went on another run, and I'm like, bro, it's all the rocks are falling onto us right now, and you're not gonna call a timeout? Like, I was mind boggled. But I mean, thank God, I guess he didn't. We needed both timeouts to actually win this game at the very last second, because we called the first one, and they got with the foul to give, so Billy had to call another one to drop a new play. I'm not cool with that. Clutch games. Let's see here. Yeah, okay, after tonight, the Bulls have played in 10 clutch games. We are, what are we now? We're 8-6. So in our 14 games, we played in 10 clutch games. We are 6-4. Jesus Christ. That is just, God almighty, I want to die. That's just so stupid. Yeah, we should not be in this many clutch games already. The amount of games I could just recall back, I'm like, man, we had a double-digit lead in this game, which I'm very much aware that a double-digit lead in today's game is not what it used to be. But the fact that it just seems like these leads just seem to evaporate so quickly, I'm just like, okay, like, you at the very least could have tried to have been better at holding the lead, but it just goes like that. And it's just bad. Yeah, I'm not happy about it. I mean, honestly, it's crazy, bro. It's nuts. I'm looking at these stats right now for the Bulls. I'll pull it up in a second here, but the Bulls actually have a negative net rating right now in the clutch, and we're somehow 6-4. So we'll take this. I mean, hell, like when it was, for example, tonight, right? It's like we were absolutely a net negative in the clutch tonight because it starts when it's 5 minutes or less, when it's 5 points or less, right? And we won the game by 1, right? And so, once Portland got within 5, that's clutch game officially, and then we only win by 1. So we were basically, 4 points worse in the clutch today. Like, we still won, but like we were worse in the clutch than we were better. So, yeah, this is just horrible, man. We cannot continue to do this. I mean, we're not the team with the most. The Dallas Mavericks are, have the most. They're 3-9, and Philly's also been in a ton of them, but we can't continue this, guys. Like, this needs to get cleaned up quickly here, because we should not be using up these clutch games this early. Because again, I feel like it leaves you up to chance. You don't want to leave it up to some variances at the end of the game. Ball booster Jacoby coming off the bench for me shows how good he can actually look as a 6-man scorer. The ideal I see it for as a contender. Anyone think he isn't? I ask which contender's back. Or could you have someone taken off for Kobe? So I won't lie, like, I've been trying to figure out like backcourts that like have Kobe. Like, again, it's like we're talking about Kobe as we know as of right now. So again, if Kobe becomes a 25 point per game scorer, that's a different story, right? But if it's 20 point per game scorer, there's been a recent guy actually that I didn't even think about. I was like, oh wow, like that's a guy. Tyler Hero averaged 20 points per game off the bench, and he was 6th man of the year. So like this is kind of Kobe's numbers. Obviously Lou Williams did it many times, and such, but I guess you can look at like J.R. Smith and Jamal Crawford as well. But I mean, Jordan Clarkson did it in a sense. So like there is definitely the world where Kobe can go and be that guy for some team, right? I mean, like Tyler Hero did it himself. Now, what Hero did, right, and what Kobe needs to do to get to Hero's level, right, is that he became a better scorer. Okay, Hero's efficiency jumped miles last season, which I know he's out this year, but you can see with Hero that his efficiency skyrocketed last season. He went up to 47% overall from the field, and this wasn't as higher as much, but like this was good, right? Upped his free throws. Like this is what we got to see from Kobe this season. So Kobe has to prove to us that he can do this, and that's going to be the fun thing to look at. He's done it so far in 2 games off the bench, so that's great. I think that it'll be something that we're going to have to monitor for him moving forward. And I hope that he's able to prove us wrong, because if he's able to become like a 24 point per game scorer, right? Again, the entire landscape of the Bulls, like, it doesn't fully change, but it definitely puts them in a better spot, right? And that's what we want to see. Harris is maybe 76ers. We want to call them a proper contender at the moment, and VJ for Kobe is a factor to me. I think VJ is a little bit different of a play style, but I understand your point. I feel like Kobe keeps this level of play. Grizzlies might be interested. Maybe. Oh, Avdia, that's what you meant. God, I did not understand what you were trying to spell here, Tyler. That's honestly hilarious. But yeah, Avdia, got it. Been working nights, haven't been able to watch live. Why did Billy leave Vooch out there for so long when we were up by 20 and he was clearly tired? Honestly, it's a pretty good question. But I mean, the problem was, though, is that the Bulls were getting wrecked on the glass no matter what, and so I think he just kind of put the best rebounder out there. Which, don't get me wrong, Vooch messed up. Like, Vooch was not doing a great job on clinging, but it's not like you can have anyone else honestly better. Like, it just shows the lack of overall size on this Bulls team, and so Zach Collins, please come back quickly. But yeah, I think there's honestly a little bit of an argument for that. And, like, Jalen Smith probably deserved more minutes tonight overall. Like, Jalen Smith didn't start the second quarter for some stupid reason. I don't know why. And the Bulls gave up a lot of offensive rebounds that quarter as well when we were small, huh? But, yeah, I think that it definitely could have been a little bit managed a little bit better from Billy today. Yeah. That's what I was saying. Why are we getting him from Washington? I mean, yeah, I don't even, what was even the Avdia trade? I'm trying to even remember now. It's Malcolm Brogdon, that's what it was. Yeah, honestly, I mean, I guess there was definitely a world. Remember, the Bulls had every chance to draft him, right? The Bulls had every chance to draft Avdia. They didn't. They chose Patrick Williams. So, I don't know. I guess I just didn't like him overall. By the way, I have something to talk about. A comment from Connor Onion on that broadcast about Patrick Williams and, like, Billy Donovan, what he said. I lost my mind when I heard that. I don't mind him having out there for the clutch, but giving the man some rest. Yeah. I mean, honestly, in today's game, like, he was very good for today. So, like, you know, if he's going to play most of the minutes tonight, that's fine. But, like, I do agree, though, that he definitely could have probably managed his minutes a little bit better. I won't lie. You want to give up VJ for Kobe? I think the comparison was, who do you have as someone that's similar to Kobe White that is currently starting in your backcourt on a contender right now? That was the question. You know, mostly just a scorer, not the best defender, and, you know, can kind of be like a combo-ish guard. You know, not the biggest defender. So, you know, there's certain guys, right? And unfortunately, it's just like you look at these 6 man of the years, and it's just like Jordan Clarkson, Tyler Hero, Lou Williams, and Jamal Crawford. They're just like, they're all similar to Kobe White. Like, they play similar to Kobe. That's the only reason why it's just like it's talk, right? Or like, hey, 6 man, like we've seen 6 men have success in, like, that are similar to Kobe's play. However, like I said, if Kobe can get to 24 points per game, then I think that you're looking at a solidified starter easily. But for now, though, again, I'm not talking about trades for Kobe until we see him in the starting lineup, and then we have to assess from there. And again, I think that even if Kobe goes and balls, like, he balls out, like, I don't even know how it even, like, can he even get good value for him? An unrestricted free agent, like, I don't know how many teams are gonna be willing to give up good assets for an unrestricted free agent that could just leave. So, not sure. We will see how it ends up working. Clock Chicago, man. Bulls and Bears hate easy wins. Oh my god, man. The Bears are also one of those teams this season that are just killing me. They're giving me gray hairs, man. I'm in my early 20s, guys. Come on. Is it just us that blows leads every game, or is this a league-wide thing? I think honestly, us like, I don't know if there's a stat, but like I feel like we've blown way too many leads that are like 15 points or more already. So, I am definitely thinking that it's more so us only, because like the problem is like the reason why we're susceptible to it is, one, our defense is not good. Like even in tonight, yet again, our defense has struggles tonight. You want to know why we had struggles tonight? I mean, this is unacceptable yet again tonight. It's just like, bro, the Trailblazers are struggling from 3-point range. Unless your name is Jeremy Grant, and yet we're still giving up 62 points in the paint tonight. Like, all Portland's gonna do is drive. But this is just ridiculous. Like, it just shows that there's just too many lack of defenders on this team and no rim protection. Not to mention that you're giving up so many second chance points, which that leads to easy points in the paint again. So there's that. But then the offense, unfortunately for the Bulls, because they just don't have like solidified 20-point per game scores besides Giddey, it's like you're kind of just juggling this whole act of like, okay, like we have to run who's playing hot, but then if we don't have enough guys that are playing well, then it's like, oh, what do we do? And when it gets to those moments when an opposing team's making a run, it's like, who do you put out there that you can trust? Because we've been playing team ball for most of the game, right? And when all of a sudden that defense changes out there and the game slows down, it's like, who can I trust to convincingly score in the half court? And we're having struggles still with it. So, our half court offense overall has been, I think, better than last season, but you still see how much the Bulls do rely on up-tempo pace to get some buckets throughout the game. I mean, 21 fast break points tonight. I mean, these are two of the fastest teams in the league. But, yeah, it's just, you just see like a massive shift in the defense, and it's like, oh shit, like what do we do? And so without a guy that you can rely on to be the main ball handler and such, it's like it gets scary. But yeah, it's part of the reason why there's that, but then also we're just young. Like, you can tell that some guys are just kind of deer in the headlights in these moments and just don't really know what to do. Billy's trying to swap out guys, like, and put in certain different guys, try to see if they can get, if they can come in and give us some confidence. But it's a learning curve for these guys, unfortunately. Let's see. Say there's a stat. Okay, I have 2025. Okay, I don't know how much I trust this website. It says champs or chumps, so I don't know how much to trust this. So I don't know if this is updated after tonight, but blown 10-point leads. I mean, we're, I guess we're kind of just in like mid-ish pack, but higher mid-ish pack. But like, if today's the 4th, right? Then we're up here. So, yeah, I'm not really sure how to kind of gauge this. Like, I don't know if this is legit or not, but if tonight was the 4th, then we're here. So again, I'm not sure if this is legit or not. So maybe there's another website I can go and find out. My dream trade is to get Claxton for Brooklyn. It'd be great. So we talked about Claxton and Gafford last stream. If I had to choose between the two of them, I'd rather Claxton. So I mean, don't get me wrong, Claxton's having a really good season. He's been very solid for the Brooklyn Nets this season. He's going back to what I'm more used to seeing him, like, taking more efficient shots, finishing at the rim more effectively. A little bit better defense, but it's not what it was where, like, I thought he could be like defensive player of the year level defense. Which is fine. Like, I don't need that. The only thing is, though, is that, like, Brooklyn's kind of like, it's not point center, but like he's definitely has the ball a lot in Brooklyn right now, just due to how Brooklyn's set up, and like yeah, like it. I just don't know how it would work out with the Bulls in a sense of like, would he be able to switch his effort to be more defensive oriented, and we see the team like he kind of switches mentality from like being less offensive oriented like how he is with Brooklyn right now to like a little bit more defensive oriented and just kind of look to get 10 and 10 every night, points and rebounds, and then get deflections and shoot efficiently from the field, or like does he still kind of need the offense to be effective? Like I just don't know. I'll have to do a little bit more research with Claxton right now because like I'm very aware of the numbers. I've seen some film on him this season, and like offensively he's honestly done a pretty decent job, but yeah, we're gonna have to see how he kind of looks as we move forward into the year. But if I had to choose between the two of them, I'd rather Claxton over Gafford. Gafford got a new contract, and the only thing with Gafford is just that like he's less of a rebounder, and he doesn't play 30 minutes a game. Like he plays only like 20 minutes a game because him and Lively just kind of just like take 50% of the minutes at center. So I don't know if Gafford can like come in and play starter minutes consistently. But they are definitely two guys that I know that some people are looking at. Personally, though, for me, if it was up to me, like as much as I kind of do, I am definitely interested in what I've seen from Claxton. I am more so in the favor of just drafting a center. And again, whether it's first or second round, I generally do not care. But just kind of where the center situation is, like again, I don't think you're trading Vooch, but we'll see. He's absolutely saved our asses these last two games. And Zach Collins is not getting traded, so you might just have to wait for those guys to get off your roster, and I don't think you're signing anybody with the lack of free agency market for the center position. Therefore, just like okay, just draft a center, or you just have to wait. So and that's fine to me. I'm totally fine with that. But if there are some candidates, I know that Claxton and Gafford are definitely two candidates right now for center spots. I'm just not like, I don't really love either one of them, unfortunately. And I'm not looking for like the next Jalen Duren, by the way. Like as much as I like Jalen Duren's been insane, and I love every bit of him, but I'm not expecting that. I'm just like, I would much rather try to go and get a little bit more of a like cost-effective center right now, and not be spending assets on a guy that is making a little bit more money, and I'm not fully sure he's gonna fit into the team at the moment. But a lot more info as the season goes on for sure. I just joined. I missed the game as a box score watch, and I noticed Matas only played 8.5 minutes. What gives? So early on in the game, Matas, he had two really bad turnovers that were like, I won't lie, they were pretty unacceptable. And then he fouled like really quickly right after, and then Billy pulled him immediately. I won't lie, I'll give Billy this one. And when he pulled him that early, like he put Patrick Williams in like pretty quickly. I'll give Billy that one. After that, though, in the first half, then Matas got the 3 personal fouls with like, I think it was around 7 minutes left to go in the second quarter, something like that. So he didn't really see much of the second quarter, unless I'm wrong. There's his, yeah, okay. There's his second, and then it's coming up here. Yeah, here's his third. So he basically for the second quarter he had 3 fouls. So he didn't see much of the game in the second quarter. He comes out in the third, and like he unfortunately was just kind of getting wrecked by like guys like Jeremy Grant, and some other people were kind of driving by him. And so I will say he probably should have played a little bit more in the second half, but I'll kind of give Donovan a little bit of a pass tonight, because like I do think his defense in that second half was not great. So yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate. Like I think his box score, makes him look a little bit better than he actually played tonight. And he needs to find ways to figure out his consistency with not turning it over like how we saw early in the game, but then also like he has to learn how to defend guys without fouling right now, because like it's either right now, from what I'm seeing, it's like he either fouls a guy and it's just like, okay, we did not need a foul there, or he like, but he's trying so hard not to foul that it ends up just being an easy layup. he's got to find a way to figure this out. And so I don't know what it's going to take. More playing time obviously is ideal, but he got himself into foul trouble in the second quarter, unfortunately. So I'm a little bit like, I understand a little bit from Billy's side today. Rebounding wise though, I think he honestly did a pretty good job. So I'll say that for sure. Moving forward though, again, I've been hella critical of Billy, and even in this game I was also critical of Billy. But yeah, I think this one was kind of, yeah. I don't watch enough basketball to know if it's regular, but I hear announcers talk about how a 20-point lead in today's NBA means nothing now. It doesn't mean nothing. It just means that, like, because the three-point shot and the pace of play, it just isn't as substantial of a lead as it used to be. Okay, that's the issue with like 20-point leads now. It's just that, like, a team can just, like, go on a run and hit 4 threes in a row, and you only, you know, you only make the next two pointers, and all of a sudden it's, you know, they've cut 8 points off that lead quickly. So yeah, either way though, here's what I say. Like, I think, yeah, a 20-point lead isn't as substantial as it was before, but you need to, when you have a 20-point lead, you need to play a certain way. And it's not playing not to lose, but it's, you need to still do the things that are important, like get the defensive rebound. Get the fucking rebound, guys. Like, that's something that just, like, no matter what, like, you need to focus on that. You got to make sure that if you have a lead, bro, that once that shot goes up, it's one and done for the opponent. That really helps you make sure that you can help maintain that lead. Yes, there's definitely moments where just threes just start raining on your head and there's nothing you can do about it. But what you cannot allow happen is to, you know, shoot yourself in the foot, and you're all of a sudden now it's like, oh, like we let the team get back in it because we weren't willing to box our guys out. Like, that just cannot happen. If, you know, if Steph Curry goes on a run or something like that, so be it. Like, that is definitely something that can happen nowadays, and it's definitely very, very frustrating when it does happen. But if a superstar is able to pull a team back from the grave, okay. But you not boxing out tonight and you fouling as much as you did in that fourth quarter is flat out unacceptable. That just cannot happen. There's definitely, I think, different ways to blow a 20-point lead, and the way the Bulls did it tonight, and the way that the Bulls have kind of blown their other leads, like in that Utah game, for example, where they just stopped playing defense and they started to have some bad turnovers, like, that's unacceptable. We can't let that's on you more so than Utah just doing the miraculous stuff. Other 3 fouls keep you in foul trouble for the remaining 29.5 minutes of regulation. I mean, he played a significant amount, I think, in the third. He didn't play a lot in the fourth because the Bulls were facing an avalanche, and Billy doesn't trust them clearly in avalanche situations. So he wasn't in foul trouble in the second half, but he barely played in the first half because he got benched like 3 minutes into the game, and then he came back in and he didn't play a lot in the second quarter because he picked up 3 fouls. And then he played in the third quarter. I think it was a typical rotation stint for him. Yeah, like, I mean, he played basically 8 minutes in the third quarter. But then the avalanche happened in the fourth when guys were supposed to come back in, and he didn't trust them. So that's definitely Billy's fault in that moment to not trust Buzelis to come on in. And I think he actually did come back in, but he got taken out pretty quickly. Pretty sure he did come back in. No, he didn't. Okay, never mind. I'm just wrong. He did not come back. No, he did come back in. Oh, that's right. Okay, that's what happened. Yeah. So Billy put these guys in for like 2 minutes, and then, like, because he was not happy with how Giddey was playing either, and so he took these guys out after 2 minutes. And this is when the avalanche was happening. So yeah, I don't know. I'll blame Billy for the fourth a little bit. I wish Almighty Billy kept the same energy with all players. Mata's got opposite special treatment. He isn't allowed to make mistakes and grow. Mess up, you're out. Hated this bubblegum chewing machine so much, bro. I like I said, I think Billy messed up in that. He called the timeouts way too early when the avalanche was hitting. Like, he called it when it was a 13-point game, and then he called it when it was a 10-point game. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, we have no more timeouts left when all of a sudden the lead just cut to 2. Like, that's 100% on Billy. I also thought in that first half when we had both a Dosunmu and Buzelis in foul trouble and we couldn't get a fucking damn rebound, that I think Noah Asenge honestly should have been in the game. Like genuinely, I think that was actually a moment for Billy to put Asenge in that game when Buzelis got into foul trouble in that moment. Again, we were having issues getting defensive rebounds, and so you have a 6'10" forward that honestly does a decent job rebounding for his, skinny body. Like, put him out there. And we didn't do that. So, I think that's where also Billy messed up. But also, still, yet again, I don't know what the fuck they're doing with the Senge. Like, I'm still pissed right now because it's just like, I don't really know what he's doing here on this road trip when I would much rather him just go and play in the G League. Like, I'm genuinely getting pissed off at the Bulls right now with how they're handling both Buzelis and Asenge. Like, I'll give Billy a bit of a pass tonight with Buzelis. Like, Buzelis got into foul trouble early. But, like, yeah, either way, though, it's just, like, these are your future. Like, these are your two future guys, no matter what. Like, Giddey is most likely to be part of your future, but, like, there's also a world where you do trade him. And so I'm just, like, I don't know what to say. Like, it's because they're trying this whole, like, yeah, we're trying to win, be competitive, but young guys with experience, so yada 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 yada. But they're also trying to say development's important, but it's just like it's hard for me to see development when your most recent lottery pick is sitting on the bench for from all night, and he's not even playing the G League. So I honestly just don't know what it's gonna take for, like, Billy should be trusting these guys more. He doesn't for some reason. I honestly don't know why he trusted Io so much when Io was here as a rookie. Like, Io was a second round pick, and he got into the rotation and took Troy Brown Jr.'s spot in 5 games. And then we saw Io starting in, like, many of the games his rookie year. I honestly do not know what it's going to take for Billy to start trusting these guys. It really is starting to frustrate me because, like, don't get me wrong, these wins are great with Vucevic, but, like, it's also that it's Vucevic hitting these shots, and, like, it's Vucevic kind of coming out big in these games. Like, Vucevic was the player of the game tonight. Kobe was as well, but, like, it's like Vucevic was to me the player of the game. And I'm like, it would be, I would just feel a lot better about the situation right now if, like, let's say Buzelis was the player of the game, or Giddey was the player of the game, and which Giddey has been, like, he's been player of the game for many of the games this season. But it's just like, when you're, earlier on the season and now, most recently, it's just like, when Vucevic is your, like, a major source of why you're winning, it's just, like, double-edged sword of just like, yeah, good job, like, you won the game, that's your priority right now. But at the same time, I know Vucevic is 35 and, like, he doesn't have many years left, and I don't think he's part of the future. So I don't know, it's just this whole thing. But I am genuinely getting pissed with how Noah's being handled right now, because, like, man, if I thought we had this, we figured it out when he got assigned to the G League, and then he got called back up, and then he went back down, and then he played his one game there. I was like, okay, just keep him down there. Like, we have plenty of guys. Like, we played 12 guys tonight, and we didn't play a Senge. Like, we have plenty of guys in case guys get injured. We're fine. But yeah, I'm genuinely pissed off right now, because it's just like, if he's up here, like, you gotta play him if he's up here. Okay, and I'm not even asking for many minutes. You just gotta play him if he's up here. But if he's not, then put him in the G League. I don't know what Billy's saying right now. Or what the exact plan is. Buzelis, I do think that he needs to get a little bit more leeway in playing through mistakes. I honestly think that, again, in like a situation like tonight where there was an absolute avalanche happening and, like, we can't get defensive rebounds, like, he should probably be out there. Instead, Billy decided to run, a multi-guard lineup. So, yeah, I'm definitely concerned about the development of these guys, and, like, if these guys don't end up turning into something, then I'm gonna be like, yeah, it's partially on them, but it's also, to me, it's concerning to me how they're handling these guys right now. And it's the complete opposite way that they approach Patrick, to me, in my opinion. Like, I think they give Patrick a lot of leeway when he was rookie and, young in his rookie contract, or yeah, his first 4 years. But then with Buzelis and Noah, it just seems like they don't want to give him the time. So I don't know. I'm very confused how that's all being handled right now. I know Booz said he likes to be coached hard. Or sorry, Sorry, hold on. 64 to 38 rebounds. Oh, bro, it's bro, it's so bad. Oh wait, okay, it updated. My bad. Was this a mistake? Did they give someone like a shit ton of rebounds? Okay, my bad. I actually thought it was 86 rebounds. I genuinely thought it was 86 rebounds tonight. My bad. It felt like 86 rebounds tonight. Oh my god. Okay, my bad. I guess I should have realized that was not the correct number. But either way, I mean, it was 64 to 38 and 26 to 7 offensive rebounds. Anyway, yeah, tonight was ridiculous. I was losing my mind. But yeah, I don't know what they're doing with Buzelis and Asenge at this moment in time. Montezali did not play well, but got yanked out just the one time he looked good right after. Yeah, it's weird. Montes wanted to be Coach Char. I think Billy took it too literally. Think about it. If you want to be Coach Char, there's gonna be a shorter leash than normal. I hate it though. I just think Billy's in his old school mentality all of a sudden. Like I don't know what it's gonna take for him to suddenly trust these guys, but it just seems like Billy is like, if you're young, you're not trusted, which is just very weird. So be it. I know Boo said he likes to be Coach Char and wants that from Billy. It really started to piss me off how quick he is to snatch Montez as a rookie. They'll let Vooch bury us and he does nothing. But like, it's even other guys too, right? Like, Kevin Huerter, for example, has not had the best of games recently, and like he's still played at least 24 minutes every night, or even played more. And he's a starter as well right now. So like, it's very odd how it's all being worked out. But yeah, I guess right now they're prioritizing Dale and Terry for some reason, and I don't know why, over Asenge, or they're playing Patrick Williams to see if they have something in him when Montes screws up. Perfect time for Noah, you're right. Yeah, I think honestly, like when Buzelis got into foul trouble and I got into foul trouble in that second quarter and we couldn't get defensive rebounds, like just put Noah in. Like I honestly did not see any reason why that would be a bad idea. Sure, it's his first game, like first real action, but I'm just like, sure, I don't care. Like I think this is not gonna kill the game for you right now. Like putting Noah Senge in for like the last 3 minutes of the half is not going to kill you. If that kills you, then there's something wrong with your team. Straight up, I just thought that was the perfect time for it. I understand Noah a situation just there for rookie treatment and singing happy birthday to everybody. Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, I'm not a fan of like the whole rookie treatment stuff, but I know that it's it's part of the fraternity idea of the NBA. But it's just like, if he's just there to sing happy birthday and just to be there in case someone gets injured, then I'm like, what are we doing? Why do we draft him then? If this was truly just going to be that we're not going to play him, then I don't know what we're doing. He needs to just be in the G League. It's pissing me off. Any coach starting any punished for mistakes so early in your career is just weird. No, I agree. But when you have a front office that doesn't know exactly where they're going, then that's what ends up happening. I understand about seeing him getting pulled out, getting your ears chewed off about what you did, and being allowed to replay that in your head, but you should get to go back in again. Oh, I agree with that. Yeah, like if Buzelis absolutely like messes up a rotation or something that's like egregious, or like has like one of like the worst turnovers ever, then like yeah, I think Billy should be pulling him out and be like, yo, or especially defensively. It's just like if Buzelis messes up defensively, then like yeah, I think Billy taking him out and like yelling at him and be like, yo, this you can't continue this. Like you have to make sure that this doesn't happen again for the rest of the game, whatever, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. Like yell at him and get on his ass, then put him back out there. That's fine to me. But I agree that I think yanking him out and yelling at him and then just letting him sit there for for most of the half is a problem. Like that should not be happening. You throw them into the fire, and here's the thing. I don't even think it's throwing them into the fire with this Bulls team. I think that with this Bulls team, it's not even throwing them into the fire. Like this team has Vucevic around, and they have guys that, like they said, with experience. It's not just a bunch of young players that have played little NBA basketball out there along with the rookies, right? It's guys that have actually played. They're in their second contracts in the NBA. So I really do believe that it's not just throwing them in the fire. I think that they, I think that's a little bit like, it's not even just that. It's just go out there and just get good experience. So, more than not trusting him, he flat refuses to even give Noah a chance. Well, yeah, with Noah specifically, yeah, he's not even giving Noah a chance. With Buzelis, it's, you know, taking him out. I mean, even Buzelis' rookie season, right? If you guys remember earlier in the year, like, Buzelis, some games was just, he was getting DMPs. Like, or I guess not really, it wasn't DMPs because he played in almost every game, but like, he would basically play for like 3 minutes and like, it would just be it. They're like, all right, well, that's it. Like, he would come in at like the end of the second quarter or something like that and like get like a little bit of a run and then get taken out pretty quickly after that and would not see the second half. So yeah, I don't know. It's rough. According to Julia Poe though, Billy's not like, he's been out of it. We're not going to see him for a while. So once again, I don't understand what we're doing. Like if we're not going to see him for a while, then put him in the G League. There's nothing wrong with that. But I guess they're just like, they're trying to make sure that he's like getting the NBA plays down or something like that. I don't know. No, it's an afterthought. At least he talked about Joakim Noah and they posted a video on YouTube. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, good PR, I guess. Yeah. Let him show us why you don't want to play him. We literally have no clue what kind of player he can be because he doesn't get a second of playing time. I mean, he technically got 13 seconds in that Denver Nuggets game. Like, he technically did, but like, none of us even recognized it. I didn't even recognize it. Like, you know, even myself, who I think is pretty keen on seeing every detail, I didn't even recognize Noah checked in that Nuggets game. Like, that, it was insane. I found that out after. I was just like, wait, Noah was in for the Nuggets game, and then there's a mix-up in the box score because there's this box score going around that said he played 24 minutes, but it's like, no, he played 13 seconds. I didn't even recognize it. I was just like, what? And he did nothing out there. So I mean, it's 13 seconds. What do you expect? But yeah, I'm pissed. So. No, it's just being used for content. I guess that's his job for now, which is pretty stupid. Yeah. Rebounds pretty much explained the free throw differential too, I guess. It was part of it, but the Bulls were definitely just fouling bad in that fourth quarter specifically. Like they were just like, yeah, we're not gonna play defense in that fourth. We're just gonna commit fouls instead. I do also think that it was a little bit like once the offense kind of started to die in that fourth, then the Trailblazers were pushing it down the floor and we were just kind of resorting to fouling. So there was also that part, but a decent amount was because we didn't get the defensive rebound for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I heard it gets a long leash too. I don't understand it. What's the point of even drafting someone that high just to trade the pick away if you don't want to use them? I mean, right. Or, you know, pick someone they're actually going to use, right? Like, it's honestly really interesting to me because, like, I know Cedric Coward kind of went earlier, but, like, what if Cedric Coward got picked by the Bulls? Like, he's an older player, right? He's not like, an 18-year-old rookie or, a one and done in college. Like, he's an older player that has a 3-point shot and can, play some defense. Like, would he even be getting time on Billy's rotation this season? Like, I don't know. But like, for some reason, Ayo, like, Patrick Williams and Ayo Dosunmu, those two guys were able to crack Billy's rotation in their first years easily. I mean, Patrick was given the starting job day one. Ayo was, again, like I said, Ayo was able to take Troy Brown Jr.'s spot in the rotation after 5 games. So I honestly just don't know what it is. Now, when it came to, Dalen Terry, like, Billy didn't play Dalen Terry. He didn't play much of Julian Phillips. So, I mean, that's been consistent, I guess. But, yeah, I don't really understand, honestly, for certain guys, like, what did it take to just crack the rotation? Now, I mean, don't get me wrong. Ayo absolutely should have cracked the rotation. He was too good. And, I guess that, I mean, maybe Billy was like, realized he fucked up and was just like, okay, like, I mean, yeah, Ayo has to be on the floor. If Ayo didn't play in his rookie season, I would have been absolutely pissed because, like, he's way too efficient to be not playing. And, I guess Billy recognized that. I don't know what it is with Patrick Williams. I mean, granted, the roster didn't have a small forward besides Garrett Temple, so maybe that was just because of it. But yeah, it's very confusing, honestly. I think the reason why people got longer leash is because a guy like DeRozan worked with them and trusted them. With no vet leader except Vooch, seems like Billy is relying on his eye test. I don't know, but I mean, like, DeRozan worked with Dalen Terry, and like, I feel like Dalen Terry didn't get the same treatment though. So, I don't know how legit that is. Like, Dalen has been kind of like, Dalen was like DeRozan's son, and he didn't really get much playing time. So, I disagree personally. I think it has to do something with what the coaches and Billy saw. Earn a longer leash though. He's proven to be plenty consistent. Well, I mean, yeah, like obviously now. I mean, Io's insane now. Like Io's up for 6th man of the year right now. I'm talking about his rookie season though, which like in his rookie year and the games that he was able to play in, like I was like, yeah, he has to play. Like he's just too good. Like Billy again. Like Billy didn't have him in the rotation earlier on. Like it was very confusing to see that. Don't expect that above 500 would put the Bucks out of the play-in at the moment. I did not expect that, honestly, with how the East is. But, I mean, that's where we're at right now. Giannis is out for 1 to 2 weeks. So, the Bucks are probably going to slide a little bit here. Meanwhile, though, I mean, like, since Banchero's not been playing, suddenly the Magic look better and Boston looks better suddenly. So, yeah, I mean, that's the bottom of the East right now. At what point did he check in your shot? Noah? I'll show you. It was during free throws. Yeah, Asenge did check in. I didn't even recognize it. I straight up, like, again, I'm usually a guy that like I think recognizes these sort of things, but like I didn't even recognize that he actually even came in for a second. Like this is incorrect. Here I'll bring up the video. I think that did we, bro, what the fuck? Did NBA.com get it wrong as well? Okay, that's insane. NBA.com got this wrong. I'll show you where Asenge checked in. Let's see. Oh, wait, no, this isn't. Wait, he's not in here either. Wait, what? Hold on. Maybe I'm just wrong. What did I see? I saw something on Twitter. There was a clip of it. Huh. Now I'm very confused. I thought that was when Asenge did check in. I guess I mean it says DMPCD. But I don't know now. Okay, maybe he didn't check in. Okay, so he's still the only player that has not gotten any playing time then in the lottery. Really? Wait, hold on. No. I saw a tweet. Give me a second. Okay, never mind. I honestly don't know. Yeah, I guess I just either completely just lied to myself about what I saw in the video, or we're just cooked. Like what the fuck? Okay, yeah, I guess he didn't check in. I was seeing so many tweets today, including people in a Discord that I'm part of, that said that Asenge checked in for 13 seconds, and I saw a clip. I was like, oh, I guess that's Asenge in. But no, he's not in at this moment. I thought this was it. But yeah, all right. I guess he still hasn't played. That's crazy. So even the 13 seconds that I thought Asenge got, he still has not gotten. All right, great, awesome, great job, Bulls. I don't know what you're doing. All right, my bad, y'all. Yeah, that's honestly insane. My bad, y'all. Hold on. Let me just double check that I'm not. Hold on. I gotta hide my screen because like I was sorry. I had classes today and like I was reading some stuff in between some classes. I was in my Discord. I was just like, oh, you know, and people were talking about like this box score bullshit thing that was happening because like there's all these tweets going around about like Asenge got 24 minutes today. I put up a Tony Snell line. I'm like, okay, like, do we really got to do this, guys? Like, it's like, come on. But like we all knew it was a mistake, but then people were saying like, no, it's he played for 13 seconds. And now I'm very confused. I guess I guess that just didn't happen. Hold on. Where is... Oh, okay. I see. Okay. I guess people thought that... I guess there's another glitch in the system that said that he played for 13 seconds. Wow, okay. Now I'm seeing where I'm going wrong. I just completely misread everything I said. Alright, wow. That's crazy. Okay, so people thought... Like, there was the initial glitch in the system that said he played 24 minutes and had a Tony Snell line. But then... we were all confused from that, and it's like, no, and then they adjusted it again, and it said he played 13 seconds, and they thought he checked in at the end of the second quarter. And so there's a clip going around, it's like, I guess Asenge checked in here, and I thought it was Asenge, I guess it was Isaac Okoro, though. Now, and we're like, oh, no, like, he just didn't play. So yeah, we were all very confused, I guess, so good job, guys. Love that the box score from NBA.com and from many other people were very wrong about Asenge playing time, because for some reason his like from the NBA.com website for a little bit it was actually wrong. Like it was just flat out like, no, this is incorrect. That's very funny. So I don't know. That's wow. So no matter what, still we have Asenge still has not played yet in a game. That is really ridiculous. Yeah, my bad, y'all. I'm just spreading false info on here. Tyler Hero's a great Kobe comparison to best case. Yes, but most are Jordan Poole, etc. That style. Sort of Jordan Poole, yeah. He took a lot of defensive improvement hustle-wise, too, I feel. I disagree, personally. I don't think Hero's been that great defensive-wise. Hustle-wise, I'll give you it. But I think Hero legit, like, he changed his shot diet. And it really helped him become a better scorer. I have to watch Io live in Memphis his rookie year. He put up 15, 10, and 6. That's also the game Bradley and Steven Adams got into it. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, Io, I could tell when Io came into the league, I was just like, oh, like, do you guys remember Summer League Io? Like, people were kind of freaking out about it because, like, he didn't play that well in Summer League. But, you know, I think, you know, Summer League is for certain players, and, you know, some players just won't excel in those moments, but due to the chaos. But, yeah, I could just tell from Io when he you know started actually playing NBA games, I'm like, he has to continue playing. Like, he's played too good. Like, the game that I always remember was early in the season. He checked in when we were facing the Boston Celtics, and we were trying to come back, and like we came back from like down like 26 or something like that. And I hit a massive 3 to help the comeback in the fourth quarter. So like, I mean, at one point Io was just killing Boston in his career. So yeah. Yeah. What's my AI? Never seen Dumb Final before? Yeah, bro, that was confusing as hell to me because like I was seeing so many tweets today about like, yeah, no, he checked in for 13 seconds. I was seeing in the Discord, I was just like, oh, I guess he checked in. I just didn't recognize. Like, that's crazy though. I'm also, God, man, I'm tired and I'm in the middle of tests and everything, so forgive me, please. Yeah, my bad. I'm like, cannot believe we won that, bro. I cannot believe we won this game either. We did not deserve it. I'm like honestly still pissed off from this game for how badly the Bulls played. I keep saying that we failed successfully, which is, you know, like, again, give him credit for, you know, Vucevic credit for that shot and everything, but God, man, the way that we played in this one was just dreadful. If the Blazers didn't have all these guys out, we don't win this one. This was rough. So, like I said, we need to go home. We need to, even though there's a back-to-back on Friday, Saturday, we got to go to Advocate Center on Thursday, and we're doing defensive rebounding drills for 3 hours, please. Tony Snell's inevitable. Tony Snell, Denzel Valentine, best dude. Derek Grayson, NBA court, fight me. Oh my God. Hey man, don't disrespect tea time like that, man. Denzel though, we will always be making fun of Denzel, unfortunately. They actually did that, and I saw it happen. I think it would have brought. They would have brought out genuine rage. Played 24 minutes at a 20 Snell stat line. No, he played 13 seconds, checked in at the end of second quarter. 13 seconds, you sure? Yeah, 13 seconds, definitely. Yeah, that's... I was so confused, bro. I was just like, what? Okay, I guess he didn't check in. That's crazy. I've been told from Twitter and many people in my Discord are like, no, he checked in. Like, I'm like, oh, I guess that's what happened. Let's see here. I mean, even, let's see. I mean, yeah, like, even Kenny Beecham said it, right? Like, even Kenny Beecham said the 12th pick with 14 seconds played on the season 1 month in. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, I'm not lying to you guys that, like, I saw people talking about, no, he played like a couple of seconds. So I was just like, oh, I guess he played some seconds, I guess. Yeah, I'm very confused now on what was going on, but like, yeah, he did not play, clearly. So yeah, I'm like, I swear to God, people were talking about this. I'm like, yep, sure enough, that Kenny Beecham himself got confused. He was just like, no, he played 14 seconds. No, he didn't. Ugh. Oh, actually, 2 of those deep threes he takes that pissed me off today. Hey, you know, honestly, like, yeah, he hit one where it was late shot clock that was very deep, but he also took one in like in the first half, in like the second quarter, that was like, hey, I'm happy you took that. Like, I understand that it's, you know, deep threes, but like, as much as that people are not exactly that happy with the amount of threes the Bulls have shot recently, and like, I kind of get it. I think that this Bulls team needs to shoot these threes, like, genuinely. I think that it's good for the Bulls to be shooting this many threes. So, I mean, what they shoot, 47 today or 49? Like, you know, you don't need to shoot this many every game, but I do think that when you do play a faster tempo and you're able to find these many threes, like, yeah, it's something that you could kind of invest yourself into. Like, I understand scoring the paint is the top priority, and that's fine. Like, we need to take the open threes when they're there. And Kobe's volume of threes is massive to get back. I do think that the team was kind of lacking 3-point attempts a little bit. I know some people are just like, no, we're just taking good quality 3-point shots when they're open, but I'm like, I get it, but I also think that there's been moments this season that we've tried to drive when the drive wasn't there, and we just need to shoot the 3 instead. And having Kobe back is just going to up the volume, which is good. Oh. Good on, Delbert, yeah. Let's go, but also, like, we need to go to the freaking Advocate Center tomorrow and work on our rebounding, because holy shit. Denzel is great in the European courts at the moment, playing Euro Cup, 22 minutes per game, 8 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 34% field goal percentage. Oh, God. That's astounding stats. Congrats to Denzel Valentine. Hope he starts playing better. Only way we'll see Noah soon is if they have a 25-point lead at the end. However, this Bulls team isn't necessarily good enough to win by that much. Yeah. And they seem to be also good enough to, like, most likely not lose by that much either. Like, they'll stick around at least, like, you know, be within 15, right? And so it's close enough that you can make a comeback. The only time they were down by 25 was against the 76ers, and we came back. So, yeah, it's going to be rough for Noah to get minutes this season, man. I'm not happy about it. I want him just in the G League instead. But I guess it's just going to have to be how it is. Now, look, man, I'll eat my words with how the Bulls are handling the situation. If Noah ends up becoming the next Giannis Antetokounmpo, I will genuinely eat my words, okay? But I don't think we're on that trajectory at all. Not that I thought Noah's ever going to be that, but like, I really want Noah to hit his full potential here. And if he like becomes like mid or like not like just rotation player, like I think the Bulls have utterly failed. And that's a problem. We need to, like, if he ends up actually being like a very good player with the way that they're doing this, like, you know what? I'm sorry to have doubted you, but the way that they're handling Buzelis and Noah is not to my liking so far. And unfortunately, as much as that, like, people are like, you know, they're talking like, well, what about winning the game? Like, I understand that a lot of people are all about winning the game right now, but to me, development is the bigger win versus like winning the game. And like, yeah, I think this team should be still, you know, as of current moment right now, like they're going to be fighting for wins, so go out and fight for wins. But like, I still feel like that you can still try to fight for wins even with these guys playing more minutes. And that's not me saying that, like, you know, specifically for Noah, he doesn't need to be in to close the game, but you can still put him in there during the middle of the game. So I don't know, just my thoughts. What a stud! Woohoo! Yeah, I'll check this out. Man, he's let the hair kind of grow out, huh? Oh boy, this was a guy that you know, I try to always be pretty like. I think weirdly enough, like I think the last time I was like really down on a draft pick by the Bulls was like Doug McDermott. I wasn't like I really wasn't too happy about that draft pick, but yeah, I mean, like I remember when we drafted Denzel, I was like, yeah, you know what? All right, yeah, well, I think he has a pretty decent shot at being solid, and he just didn't earn anything. Yeah, that's unfortunate for him. Taking 49 threes and 43% away by one on a Vooch buzzer beater is also diabolical. Oh, for sure. It's absolutely insane. It shows how bad you were on the boards and everything else, but yeah. Other teams are 3 and 12. Zach seems completely checked out. Bro, I hate how they're using Zach, man. I despise how they're using Zach over there. Like, Zach is, like, strictly only being used as, like, Klay Thompson only, which is like, everyone's saying that, oh, like that's how you're supposed to use Zach LaVine. It's like, no, like you're supposed to sprinkle that in as well as like get him some on-ball opportunities, also some ISO opportunities. But bro, DeRozan has been just rough over there, and they're in a shit show moment right now, which is why it's gonna be very funny when they trade Sabonis away and they get Vucevic from us. It's gonna be very funny when that happens this season. Yeah, they're in a shit show right now. I think Noah will be better than P. Will, maybe not immediately, but I see a lot of potential with him. I see in Buzelis. I am very confident that Noah is going to be better than Patrick Williams. Like, I think Patrick Williams, unfortunately, just is who he is at this point. I am very confident Noah will be better than Patrick Williams on many aspects. Like, maybe not the three-point shooting, because, like, maybe Patrick has that. But in terms of driving ability, finishing ability at the rim, free throw ability, rebounding ability, like, it just, and everything in between. It's just like, I think that Noah's going to be a significantly better player than Patrick Williams. Yeah, maybe not right now, but just due to how young he is, but I don't like either way. He should still be getting playing time somewhere. Whether it's the G League or here, just play him, please. Winning that game doesn't get us any closer to a deep run in the playoffs. Developing young talent does, though, SMH. Right, like, if the Bulls are winning the game and it's because they're developing their young talent, that's where we should be prioritizing right now. But instead, like, you're not playing your two youngest guys on the roster right now. It's just it's pretty infuriating right now. So, like, don't get me wrong, like, it's important for, you know, what this team, how they're currently built and everything, like, they're trying to get their wins, and like that's fine. Do I agree that they should be looking to be competitive this season? No. I think that it should be all about player development and getting draft assets. That should be the priority this season. But And if the wins come, so be it. Like, I'm fine with the wins. But it's just that right now, there's a lot of dependability on Vucevic and some of the vets on the roster right now. The bench, in that Denver game, I'll give them that Denver game. Like, Vuce only really hit the shot at the end, like, Herter hit a shot. But like, Giddey did a good job in that fourth quarter. We saw the bench, which was mostly young players, right? And, like, they came in and like they did a decent job. Like Dalen Terry had a great game, but like it's the guys like Javon Carter, for example, that hit 5 threes in that game. It's just like, I appreciate it, don't get me wrong, and like, yeah, I'm appreciating the win, but it doesn't feel as good right now because it's just like Javon Carter had hit 5 threes for us to win that game barely. Like, yeah, I appreciate it, but like I would rather see younger players get the opportunity instead. Like Asenge, like I don't think we would be losing that much sleep if we lost the Denver game. Like, and just before we had it into the game, right? Like before the game started, if we knew that, hey, Asenge played 10 minutes in this game, he, was okay, and he got some run against Aaron Gordon and others, or, guarded Cam Johnson and others, and we happen to lose that game by 8, like, I don't think we'd be losing that much sleep right now. Once obviously the game started and we're up by 18, it's like, okay, you need to win this game. Like it's just, I just think that the priority for the Bulls is a little bit messed up at the moment. But that's just my opinion at the end of the day. That's not me saying that it's right or wrong. That's just my opinion, and people are gonna disagree with me on that, and that's totally fine. I think that if you think the other way around, where you think that we should be trying to win every game, and it's important that the vets play to help us try to win these games, okay, that's your opinion, and that's fine. I would just disagree. I think that player development is much more important. Like, I think Giddey's development this season has been vital. Like, minus this game, we'll throw this game away today, which again, like I said, like, I'm giving Giddey a pass today. If he does this against Miami, though, then we have an issue. But like, Giddey's development this season has been absolutely crucial for what the Bulls should be doing in the future. That is something that is been probably the biggest win of the season so far, is seeing that Giddey's development has been this solid. So he needs to continue this, right? Like, the unfortunate part for him, I know he just hit 2 threes tonight, but like his 3-point percentage is like definitely coming back down to earth. So we're gonna have to be kind of watching him, as like the 3-point shot is not like what it was to start the year. But I think it's vital for him to still show that he can finish at the rim like how he did at the start of the season, and not rely on the floater and not make shots at the rim like he did tonight. So, but either way, again, like I think he's been critical for the Bulls' development this year. Him being the reason why we win games makes me feel a lot more better about the wins versus Vucevic carrying us to a victory tonight. And Kobe and Io were parts of it, but like I feel like that you can kind of look at everyone else tonight and just sort of like Giddey was non-relevant. Buzelis was also irrelevant. Also partly due to Billy. No Noah Asenge. DT played well. I'll say that for sure. It's a little bit just like, eh. And either way, also just the way that we, it's just, today was just so rough. I was not happy with how the Bulls played today. Yeah. That's a lot for Denzel. I thought he was gonna be a nice scorer for us. Oh, you thought scoring wise? Oh, I thought Denzel would be just kind of like a decent, like, kind of role player for us, but he never even turned into that. Domas isn't playing. Zach's just doing cardio. Domas is the only one trying to find him. Yeah. He still had 10 assists in a bad game W. I mean, don't get me wrong, I appreciate the passing. It's just that I appreciate it. Like 10 assists from Giddey's great. I'm just looking at it as just like he needs to score still. And yeah, like the only thing I will say that also, like, when people bring up like Giddey's passing, it's just like I think that everyone else is also doing a really good job of passing. It's not just him. He is definitely an engine to the passing, but it's just like I think that it also kind of discredits some of these other guys for like their good ball movement. Like, yeah, Giddey's definitely a major source of it, but I also think that these guys have really bought into the good ball movement, and they should be just as much like credited for the overall passing of the squad. Giddey finding some of these open guys is definitely crucial, but it's it's also on the rest of these guys to move well and to play within the system, and I think they deserve their credit. Only reason I hate the Vooch game winner is just because all we know he's not part of the future. You're right, yeah, like that is the issue, Thomas. It's just like, yeah, don't get me wrong, we appreciate it, but it's just like he's not gonna be here. So, and it's not necessarily about the game winner itself. It's more so just that like this guy didn't really have that good of a game today, and like, you know, Kobe definitely did. Like, don't get me wrong, I think Kobe had a great game today, but like, you know, Patrick did not have that good of a game today. Buzelis didn't play that many minutes, and Noah Senge. It's like, you know, if these guys had a great game today and then Vooch hit a game winner, that's a different story, right? Like if the young guys played well and they were the main reason why we were in the game, staying in the game, getting leads, and etc., and then Vooch just happened to hit a game winner, that's a different story. But tonight though was that it was basically Vooch was everything tonight. Like he had to score most of the points tonight, and it just doesn't feel as good for the future. That's not me discrediting any of the win or anything like that. I'm just like, it's what are we trying to prioritize? And right now, clearly, the Bulls are trying to prioritize winning. They're trying to make sure that we're not a losing culture, which is just like, I don't think rebuilding is a losing culture. I just think that the Bulls are so paranoid of like losing so many games. One, due to ticket, sales and everything like that. But the other is that they're so worried about, like, they're trying to like get rid of this like losing culture around their name for some reason. And I'm just like, I think rebuilding is not losing culture. I think being stuck in purgatory for a while is losing culture. And it's frustrating to see that right now. Do you really expect logic from the Bulls front office and ownership? Yeah, we don't. We just unfortunately can't. Yeah, we gotta hang around 500 for sales for Jerry. Yeah. Always sure as smooth as could be. Excellent. I think the first game wasn't like perfectly smooth for Kobe, but tonight was like fantastic for Kobe. Like this was incredible to see from Kobe in his second game back. The shooting looks pure right now. It looks very, very solid. The ball handling, I don't think the ball handling was like, Kobe, like the best of Kobe, but it was better overall than I expected in like game 2. I do think his ball handling was a little bit better against Utah, but I expect some rust in some areas. So yeah. Because what does a 90-year-old billionaire bag of bones want? More money to secure. Yep. Can't wait to sell it off to his son. That's my problem though. I think you can still try to win every game and still play such develop Noah with like 6 to 8 minutes game. Yeah, I agree. I think that you can play Buzelis at least like 28 minutes a game, no matter what's happening, except for foul trouble, right? And then I think Asenga can get 8 minutes a game. I think that's totally fine, and you could still try to win. Some people are gonna say that's tanking your ability to win. I disagree. I think there's plenty of players on this team that still try to go out and win the game. Yeah. I don't get that mixed up. Agreeing with you. Obviously, it's just that the owners in front of us don't really agree with us. They don't care about developing players or winning. Yeah, they care more about staying relevant right now. Still learning about the Bulls front office. I became a fan of the Bulls because the Rose didn't become diehard until like 3 years ago. Oh, I see. Wait, Tyler, do you not know about Arturas Karnisovas and Reinsdorf and Mark Eversley? Like, are you not aware of how things kind of operate right now? Because like, if you're just telling me you just became diehard like just 3 years ago, like that I mean, you weren't even here, or you weren't even diehard when Arturas Karnisovas got hired then, right? Like, you came in basically during the Levine DeRozan era. You buy tickets that are seats filled with butts, as the merch selling like hotcakes, and it's okay. Yep. Unfortunately, that is what the front office is, or the ownership is prioritizing. He looked pretty good in his first 2 games. His release looked a little faster and smoother than last year. Could just be that I've been watching Giddey's last release. I think Giddey's release has sped up. The off the dribble release though is definitely still slow. That needs work. Heard a few things, Law, but I know I don't know everything. Okay, so if you don't know how this works, okay, like, you've heard me talk about how the Bulls are never in the luxury tax. Like, I think you've heard that from many Bulls fans before, okay? Jerry Reinsdorf is the owner. He's been the owner for such a long time that, like, he should just be dead. But, the Reinsdorfs are very much in charge of the Bulls, and they're not going anywhere. Michael Reinsdorf is like the COO or something like that. I don't know what he is. He's like the president. So like once Jerry is gone in some whatever way, fashion, or form, his son Michael's taking over. But pretty much the problem with Jerry Reinsdorf and, you know, the way that he runs his front office and, you know, the people he hires is that his priority has always been, it's never to win. He has even come out and said this publicly and released it, or maybe it wasn't supposed to be public, but it got released, is that he thinks that the way to run sports, or his sports teams, the best way to run his sports teams is that you should be, in baseball terms, in like your division, like you should be the second best team in your division. It's good enough to give the fans hope, to be buying tickets, to be coming to games and being, you know, flat out supporting the team, buying merch, everything, right? But it's not good enough to be spending money to make the team the actual like contender, like to make the team the best. Like you don't go the extra step and spend the extra money or spend the extra trade asset or whatever to make the team like the actual contender when you should be doing that. You like he basically he says is like the goal is to be the second best team. Okay. Now in NBA terms, okay, because we don't go off divisions, right? It's pretty much in NBA terms, it's like the goal is to be a playoff caliber team or around there. But with the play-in tournament, I argue that it's more so just to be a play-in tournament level team. But so it gives the fans enough hope in the team, right? It's enough hope to be like, yo, you know what? We have a chance to make the playoffs this season. We're gonna be buying tickets every day, or for every Bulls game. We're gonna sell out crowds and everything, right? But we're not gonna be taking the extra step to be a good actual team. Especially then when it comes to if the Bulls are, let's say, for example, like let's say they get to like being the fourth best team in the East, right? But we need to make that one extra move to get us over the hump, right? To get us to be like actual contending level status. Jerry Reinsdorf has never gone on to either spend into the luxury tax or make the trade that's going to get us into the luxury tax to make us that sort of level of a team. It's making sure that you're not spending into the luxury tax, you're not overspending on assets or anything like that. You're spending just enough money to get the fan base hope, but you don't go the extra step and spend the extra money and go and pay luxury tax fees at the end of the season by making the big move to get us to contending level status. Like that's the Jerry Reinsdorf motto. And it's so frustrating because it's just like Chicago is such a sports town, and it feels like almost every owner is just like, yeah, we just care about making profit. That's like all they care about. Because for the Bulls, for example, if you don't understand how this works, in the NBA, every team that is not in the luxury tax, they basically get a check from the league at the end of the season that is a distribution of all the luxury tax fees that were accumulated from the teams in the luxury tax, okay? And it's distributed to all the teams that did not go into the luxury tax that season. So it is vital for the Bulls operations to not go into the luxury tax, because at the end of the season, they get a massive check from the league that is basically luxury tax fees that other teams have paid. So again, it's like you're basically making the team good enough that it's like, yeah, we're going to be sell out tickets every single home game. And because Chicago is such a big market, we don't have that much of an issue. Like, we don't have to try that hard. And then we make sure that we get our big profit at the end of the season, where we, you know, sell out every game. So we made profit there. We sold a bunch of jerseys, and you know, we got our good TV deal done that, you know, someone like an idiot like me is spending $20 a month on. And we got a massive check from the league at the end of the season because we didn't go to luxury tax. So that's unfortunately the motto. And it really, like, this is the reason why when you hear, like, you know, Box, for example, who's Rain Man's in this chat, like, when you hear him being pessimistic and talk about these things, it's because this has been the issue. The Bulls in the last, how many seasons has it been, Box? Like, it's been, I think, 27 years now, or 25 years. Like, in the last, like, 25 years, the Bulls have gone to the luxury tax once. And it's been like I think it was the Pau Gasol Jimmy Butler trade or year. Like pretty much though, it's just like we never go into the luxury tax when like we should. From 1985 to today's, okay, I didn't know it was 85, my bad. I wasn't sure what it was. So it's 85 to today, yeah. So we've been in the luxury tax 3 times then? Or is once or 3 times? I don't remember the numbers, sorry. I don't know off the top of my head. I think it might be 3 times since 1985. But yeah, it's rough. Like it's... So basically though, Tyler, like the reason why that we're so hell-bent on these guys being developed is because the Bulls act like a small market team. Like we're not going to go and sign on the big free agents. We're not going to go make the big trades because then we have to go and sign, or you have to go and sign those guys that we just got in a trade to a massive contract. So it's dependent on guys like Asenge, guys like Buzelis to come in, and like they have to have the superstar potential. And these guys have to develop because it's the only way. Because I just don't trust. It's not like, maybe I'm throwing too much flack to the front office, but like I don't trust the front office to do it. But it's also just because the front office is basically told from like the ownership, like, yeah, we're not going to go and spend on a massive free agent, right? We're not going to go and spend on guys like that we think are worth it. Like that's it. Yeah. We generally act like a small market team, and like the way the small market teams work that don't have the luxury of going to the luxury tax is they just build through the draft, right? Most these small market teams, they build through the draft. That is just the reality. Like Oklahoma City, like, you know, we're not talking about current OKC, but like, you know, when OKC would, you know, just recently became OKC and they had Durant, Westbrook, and Harden, like that was through the draft, right? They got their guys through the draft, and then they were only able to hold on to 2 because they were not at the time willing to pay the luxury tax fees to keep Harden, and so they traded Harden away and they kept Westbrook and Durant, but they had to build the team from the draft. They didn't go and make those like big trades at that moment in time. But I mean, you can just look around the league though, like the Hawks, for example. I mean, it's just built through the draft. Like they made the DeJounte Murray trade, it didn't work. But like DeJounte Murray's not really a superstar, right? Like he's just a, you know, borderline all-star at his prime. I mean, like, yeah, it's many other teams. Like, yeah, I mean, Box is like the Pistons, for example. The Pistons are not a free agent destination. They're just not. So you have to go and build through the draft if you're the Pistons. And right now they've done it, right? Like the Pistons have gone on to, you know, they drafted Kate Cunningham, they drafted Duren, they drafted Ivy. Like they've gone on to, you know, sign some free agents here and there, right? But they're not going to be the team to go out and trade for Luka Doncic, right? They had to go and get their superstar via the draft. The Minnesota Timberwolves are another team. They had to go and get Anthony Edwards in the draft, right? They did the massive trade for Rudy Gobert, and honestly, I don't know how I feel about that. But like, you know, they had to get their superstar through the draft. And like the teams like the Warriors, the teams, you know, like how Brooklyn kind of operated when they had Durant, Harden, and Kyrie, like, you know, the way that both all the LA teams operate, like they're very different. Like we as Bulls, like we're the 3rd largest market in America. Like we should be operating like these big market teams where we're in on massive free agents. We're in on you know, potential superstars and trades. We should be in on those sort of situations. But the problem is that Reinsdorf, for some reason, is just like, he just will never change his ways. Even though the salary cap has grown, it's just that he's just like, he doesn't want to pay a guy so much money. So you have to try to get a superstar basically on a cheaper contract. So like, for example, like let's say Buzelis develops into a superstar in year 6, right? Like he would be on his second deal of his career, but he would be not on a max. And even if he was on a max, it's only 25% of the salary cap, right? But like you're not gonna be looking to, like, you're not gonna be going after guys that are like 7 to 9 or 7 to 10 year vets that are free agents and their superstars, like we're not gonna be on those guys, and like we should be, but we're just not. Like it's just how Reinsdorf operates, and it really sucks. Like for example, like let's say the Bulls hold on to all their salary cap space, like in reality, right, in 2027 free agency, okay, like the reality is that we should be in on Giannis, like we should be in on Jokic, assuming that they decline their player options, right? But the reality is that we probably won't be in on these guys. Like that's the problem. In reality, we should be in on these guys. Like we should actively be one of the teams fighting to get these guys to come in free agency to the Chicago Bulls or the Chicago Bulls. Like we're one of the most storied franchises ever. We've had the GOAT in our arena. Like we should be one of the standards in the NBA, and we should be spending a lot of money and willing to spend a lot of money. And it just, like, to me, like when I really say like I don't think Giannis is coming, like I really don't think Giannis is coming, because I don't think the Bulls are going to target him. The only way I can see it somehow happening is if somehow, like, Giannis like says like I want to go to the Bulls and like forces a trade or something like that, and he'll come here. But like, why would he do that? The rep around the Bulls has just been rough, so that's why. Like it, as much as it sounds like all doom and gloom, like I don't get me wrong, I've gone through this whole conversation myself. Of just like, why would you support a team that like you feel like does not have the drive to go out and try to be a contender? Don't get me wrong, I've had this conversation with myself and many other people, but it's just that like because I'm just Chicago area, like Chicago's in my blood, like I'm gonna support this team till death. And I might never see a championship in my time, unfortunately. I hope that's never the case. Like I would hope that the Bulls win a championship someday, but I don't know. Like the way that the Bulls operate, it's like it's really frustrating. Because I think that Chicago is a great place to play in. I think it's a great sports town. I think that you can come here and you can be beloved by the fans if you come here as a superstar. Like the fans will absolutely adore you. It's again one of the most storied franchises in the NBA. The atmosphere when it's good basketball in Chicago is awesome. But it's just it just doesn't feel like that's just it just doesn't feel like that's coming around anytime soon, unless right Buzelis, Asenge, Giddey, Kobe, these guys develop into superstars, and they stay on relatively cheap deals, which is just such a fine line to ride on, right? Like it basically would require Buzelis to become a superstar in year 3 of his deal or year 4. Like it's just that frustrating, unfortunately. So yeah. Basically what Fox said, we're the only big market team that operates like we're the smallest market that ever exists. Like we just don't ever go into the luxury tax. It's just how it's been. Yeah. Over 2002 season, it's disrespectful if they think our loyalty to the team is tied only to winning. It's actually a reason to stop attending. Like, if you're wondering about me, okay, like I have never attended a Bulls game in person at the United Center myself. I've never done it. And I've made an oath to myself that until the Bulls get better, I'm not going to be attending Bulls games in person. Now, I'll go and attend a game on the road. Like, if I've thought about going and watching Bulls games in Milwaukee. Like that's I've been to Milwaukee Bucks games, but yeah, I'm not giving my money to Reinsdorf. And this also goes for the Chicago White Sox too. Like I usually my family and I go like every year to a Sox game. Like that's not happening until they figure their shit out. So, like fans have, like, if you're wondering if fans have voices, they do have voices. Like we just saw what happened with the Dallas Mavericks and Luka Doncic. Like the fans basically drove Nico Harrison out of town. They have voices. It's just that like I don't know how much of a voice though they would have in Chicago. They would have some level of voice. It just won't be like how the Mavericks were when that trade happened, and many Mavericks fans were hurt from that deal, and absolutely so. Like they absolutely should be hurt from that deal, but yeah, I just don't know if our voices here though could drive Reinsdorf out of town. It just doesn't seem possible. They're too instilled into Chicago and the history that it's almost like you're trying to know, like clean up a grave, like engraving in something that just is never gonna come out. Like it's not gonna happen. So except for the 2002. Sorry, that's like I despise LA teams because they actually spend money, while Chicago teams act like they're flat tire from being broke. Right, like it's not just the Bulls, by the way. Like the Cubs act as if they're broke, and like they're like one of the top teams in the MLB in revenue every year. They're not LA or New York teams, but like they're basically right there with like the Texas teams. And like the Ricketts family act as if they're broke. Like they act like their goal every single season somehow is to break even. And I'm just like, your goal should be to win a World Series, which they did recently, right? They're the most recent team to win something, but it's just like you're like the Ricketts just act as if like they just have no money. And I'm like, brother, you're the bigger baseball team in Chicago. Like, how do you act as if you have no money? And like the numbers have come out that say like you get over $300 million in revenue in a season, and you're like, yeah, we have no money. Like that's just from season ticket revenue alone. Like, it's not even from other stuff like their networks. Like marquee's a thing. It's just like, God. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's frustrating. Well, now that I know that, bye guys. Think I'll try to be OKC fan. I mean, honestly, Tyler, like if you really want to go and watch like a team win, like OKC's obviously like the team, but like, you know, there's many Bulls fans that are not even from Chicago that are just diehard Bulls fans because it's the Bulls. Like the Bulls are huge. They're such a global icon, and it just sucks how things are operated right now. It's just like I can't stand it. But hey, man, like that doesn't stop me from still coming on the stream and talking to you guys. And you know, I spend so much of my life still like talking about the Bulls, and it's just like, you know, me talking about this, like people question, like, is it worth it? Like, it sounds like you have no faith in the Bulls winning a championship anytime soon. I'm like, yeah, like I honestly don't really have much faith either. But with that being said, I'm not giving up on this. Like, I'm gonna be a diehard Bulls fan. That I'm not gonna be spending my money like how other people do and go to games. But I'm still gonna be covering this team because I love basketball, and I grew up in the Chicago area all my life, so I'm not gonna change teams. That's just it's just who I am. It's how sports works. It's fandom. I'll never give up. I'm not gonna give up on it. It's just it's how I is. So I'm probably stupid about it, but a lot of sports fans are, right? Pretty sure the one time was when we gave MJ the $36 million contract. It's twice. Okay, $8 million in 2 years. Yeah. It doesn't matter. My second favorite team in 2023-24. Then they traded Luka in the past year and gave up on sports. Oh my God, Thomas, I'm so sorry. Yeah, that you have like two of the worst owners ever. Then, like, you have Jerry Reinsdorf, and now you have freaking Pat Dumont as your other owner. Like, yeah. I won't lie. Like, if the Bulls had Luka Doncic and traded him away for Anthony Davis in the first, okay, that would have been my trigger to give up on the Bulls. Like, full stop. Like, I would have actually stopped being a Bulls fan, and this channel would have become an NBA channel instead. Like, it would not just be a Bulls channel. Like, I still love basketball enough to be, watching basketball, but like, it would have instead, I would have probably picked up another team, and I would have instead, this channel would just be an NBA channel instead, like, just covering the NBA. But yeah, I mean, luckily for the Reinsdorfs and co, they have not done something that stupid as of yet. I mean, they've done some stupid stuff, but it hasn't, it hasn't been that level of stupid. That trade is forever going to be one of the stupidest trades in NBA history. Actually, once we paid a luxury tax. So, okay, hold on. Let me double check this, because like I vividly remember that the Bulls have paid the luxury tax in one of the years that like Butler and Gasol was here, but maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong about this. Yeah. Okay. So this was a year. Yeah. So this year, 2015-16 was a year. The Bulls, not even 2014-15 was a year. Like, the Bulls just didn't pay this year. This was okay. Yeah, we saved a lot of money. Okay, yeah. So there's that year, and then what you were saying here, Box, about luxury tax. I think Minnesota's might be wrong though. I think it might be twice, but in terms of what the numbers that we have here, right? Like in terms of the spot track available numbers or seasons that we have here, it's once for now. So we'll say once. But either way, it's flat out ridiculous. Like the Golden State Warriors have paid so many. Like Golden State's luxury tax bills are just astoundingly insane. But yeah, like we as Bulls fans can't even think about it. Like imagine we had Steph Curry and we couldn't keep the team around him because we weren't paying the luxury tax. Like, it bothers the shit out of me. But that's a fear that I would have with the Bulls, is that if we would get a Steph Curry, it's just like, oh shit, like, would we pay the luxury tax? I don't think we would. The Reinsdorf claimed that they would, but like I just don't know, like if. And by the way, I mean like also like legitimately paying into luxury tax. Like I'm talking about like you're actually paying heavy money into it, not paying like $1 million into it. Like I'm talking about paying actual luxury tax fees, not just like $1 million or something like that. Like no, you gotta be at least paying like 30 million luxury tax fees or something like that. Yeah. It all depends on free agency how that goes. Jerry and Michael have always been open to luxury tax if our team is competitive, but like I don't believe that. Like I that's what they say, but like how far we want to go, like that's the problem. Like I unfortunately I just do not believe in like they're saying yeah we're willing to go into luxury tax. Like okay, what does that mean? Like are you willing to go past the luxury tax threshold, or like are we actually gonna be just like we're just gonna be paying like a couple million in? Like no, let's actually pay past the first apron or something. To make it a free agent star, big if they would be 5 to 2 3 year deal. No way the Bulls going to luxury tax for more than one season. That's the problem, right? Because if you're wondering how this goes, if you're in the luxury tax 3 of the 4 seasons, like of the past 4 seasons, then you're subject to repeater tax, and then that's when there's a lot more tax fees. But it's just like I know for sure the Rangers are never paying that. So like if you're hoping for 3 years of luxury tax for the Bulls, you're never going to get it. At most, you're getting 2. And even then, I don't think you're going to get that. You're going to get 1, like how Thomas said. Yeah. I was about to go to the Bulls versus Grizzlies games in Memphis. Yeah, like, I think that's a totally fine way, like, to support the team without giving money to Reinsdorf. Yeah, like, unfortunately, I will admit, I am technically giving money to Reinsdorf with this stupid Chicago Sports Network thing going on, but, like, it's the only way I'm gonna be able to watch the games and also record it and like be able to talk to you guys. So I'll eat that. But don't get me wrong, it's not like it's doing well. Like the new Chicago Sports Network's not really doing the best right now. We've been conditioned to accept mediocrity and being irrelevant since 1998, 99. Yeah, and like, it was just the Rose years, like you said, where we had an MVP. Was there 2.5, 3 million people in Chicago? Boycotting will never work. Yeah, boycotting's not gonna work, right? Bulls games are just a tradition in Chicago culture. So like there's just people that go to Bulls games that just like they don't even care about the team. Like they're just there. Because it's a social gathering, it's time to socialize. It's a tradition for people. It's many families that are in Chicago that are like blue collar workers, like they take their kids to these, like they they spend their hard work money on this stuff because this is how they grew up. Like they grew up this way. And don't get me, I don't blame them at all. Like this is how like they should be like it's awesome to see people doing this sort of stuff. It's just that like in terms of like making the team competitive, right? It's gonna be hard for the team to be competitive with the way that things are run right now. So, I actually haven't watched the Mavs game since. I can't give up on the Bulls completely. I've been a fan since 2010. Yeah, that's how it is, right? I mean, I don't like first and foremost. Again, I would not be a Mavs fan ever again. Like I would not watch the Mavs. I would just flat out like I know Cooper Flag's there. I just would not care. But luckily that's not my team. So. Our lab would be Steph, would include Thomas Bryant and Thanasis, right? Like it would genuinely be Steph, and like you'd have like maybe 2 or 3 starters and like, you know, starter level contracts maybe, and then it'd be filled with minimums after. Warriors have paid $338 million in luxury taxes up to 2022. Oof. And there was a year, by the way, but like they had to make some trades, like the, you know, Jordan Poole getting traded and everything like that. But like if they didn't make any deals or anything like that to lower their tax count, it would have been like a $400 million tax bill for them for that one season alone. Like, if you guys go on my website, I actually broke this down on my website. It, like there was in this season, okay, for the 2023-24 season, there was legitimately a year where it was just like the tax bill was going to be so insane that was just like, yo, like the total payroll was gonna be like 483, and like, so it's team salaries and then the luxury tax bill combined was gonna be this number. Like I'm like, oh my god, like it's just and then you see here, like once the roster was filled with the rest of their players, that it was gonna exceed like 500 million was like the actual predicted number. God, it's just insane. Yeah, I honestly, I wanted to see this happen, because like I wanted just to see what would actually happen if this was gonna happen. But yeah, they decided to, you know, they lowered their tax bill, as they should, so good job them. But like I said, like the number was gonna continue to rise once they filled out their roster, because like they only had 12 players and their luxury tax bill was 480, or their luxury tax bill was 268 million. It was payroll 483. It's just like, oh my god, like I would have loved to have seen what would have happened if they actually did get there, just to see what would, like how the owners would have reacted, because so many owners would be like, no, my god, like how dare you. This is never gonna ever happen again, by the way, because of the new second apron involved. Which is the reason why, if you're wondering how much I hate the second apron, is because it basically dissuades owners from spending money. Like, they have every reason now, or every excuse now, to say, yeah, no, we're not going to spend into luxury tax because there's too many issues with it. Like, if you go past the first apron, you're so limited to what you can do. Like, there's like legitimate, like, tactical reasons to not spend into the luxury tax now because of the new CBA. So like, owners have every excuse to say, no, don't spend into the luxury tax. Like, if you're wondering why I hate the new CBA, that's one of many reasons. It's a big reason why. So it's like, I understand it's a lot of numbers involved here, and like I understand it's boring. Like, don't get me wrong, I get it, but unfortunately, this is how the business is run. And you're talking to a nerd who has learned the CBA rules, who has learned how teams operate, and has learned, like, you know, all these numbers. Like, these numbers are drilled into my brain. And I have basically on file, like, what it means if the Bulls go past the first apron or whatever. Like, what it mean, like, what's the limitations if you do such a thing. And it's just like, yeah, I mean, if you're the Bulls, like, there's no reason to spend into it. Like, you're gonna be so limited in the moves you can do that, like, why would you do such a thing? So here I'll talk about $8 to $12 million luxury tax in 40 years of ownership. Yep. Bulls even hate paying for max contracts under or over the cap. Doesn't matter. They gave Rose the max and traded him, then gave Jimmy the max and traded him, and then gave Zach the max and traded him. Yeah, like, they're pretty much just like, we'll pay the max for like a year or so, or two, and then we gotta move you because you're taking up too much money off the payroll. And we know that if you're wondering why, it's because they know that there's gonna be other people that they want to keep that are gonna ask for more money. Therefore, keeping the max contract is too much. Therefore, those guys go. And don't get me wrong, I think moving on from Zach was like, you know, it was the right thing at the time. It's just how that works. But it's like, can you imagine though, for example, that if the Bulls actually had like a true superstar, and they're like, yeah, we just aren't willing to pay you the max for this many years, so we'll have you for like the first 2 years of your max contract, but after that though, you're gone. Because we're not willing to pay you max, because then, you know, some other rookies or some players past their rookie deal, we got to pay them this much money. And if we keep both of, or if we keep you and these other guys, we're gonna go into the luxury tax. Therefore, you got to go. Like, that's unfortunately the way that this works. It's stupid, but it's how this works, and I hate it. The only other player that almost came to max was Boozer. I don't remember us maxing other players since 1998. That's it. Rose, sorry, MJ, Rose, Boozer close to the max, Butler, Levine. Yes. And Rose was, they had to make a new rule for Rose because they had to make the Rose rule for us to give him the max. But yeah, yeah, pretty much the only people that have gotten the max it's been like, if you're wondering, like, Scottie Pippen never got one. Scottie Pippen was famously underpaid, so he never got anything like the max from the Bulls. Like, he was very, very much underpaid. But yeah, it's MJ. They gave MJ the max. Rose with the new Rose rule, and then Boozer was close, like you said, and then Butler got the max and Levine got the max. So yeah, there we are. It's rough. It's all depressing. Basketball is weird. Well, so I want to make this clear, right? I think the game of basketball to me right now is in a great spot. Like, the way the NBA game is played, I love it. It's entertaining for me every single night. The unfortunate part is the injuries right now that's going on, and you know that is something that is, I think, needs to be addressed. But I love the way the game is played. However, unfortunately, when it comes to the politics and the money, there is just so much bullshit when it comes to owners in sports, and this is not just basketball. I actually think basketball has it pretty good compared to other sports. Like, if you want to compare ownership bullshit from basketball to baseball is a million times worse. Okay. Baseball, there's owners in baseball that just are so terrible that, like, you can't even comprehend it. They spend no money on their team, and baseball does not have a salary floor like how basketball does. So even the owners that don't want to spend in the NBA, like, that own NBA teams, like, they're required to spend a certain amount of money on the players. Like, it's the salary floor is in place in the NBA. And good job by the Players Union or Players Association to do that. But yeah, it's ownership in the NBA is much better than ownership in other leagues. However, with that being said, I do think that when it comes to certain ownership, there is much more room for improvement. And you know, teams like the Chicago Bulls could be in a much better spot if they just had a better owner. And if you're wondering how this relates to AK and Mark Eversley, right? So first and foremost, I've been adamant about this, that, like, AK and Mark Eversley have failed. They have failed to make a good team, without being, like, I mean, if you even see what the Bulls have been doing recently, they've been spending basically kind of up to the luxury tax line. Now this season they're $13 million below it, but, like, I'll show you previous seasons. We're pretty much, like, up there to the luxury tax line, pretty much. Like, we're you know, this is $5 million off, okay? And then this year, like, we were less than $1 million off, okay? So, like, we're basically up to the luxury tax line in many of these seasons. And if you look around the league, okay, like, there are many teams that are actually capable of making, like, good teams without heading into the luxury tax, okay? Unfortunately, though, the Bulls just were not one of them. They failed to make a quality squad. So if you're wondering, okay, for example, like, you know, here in 2021-22, like, the Bulls were right up here in terms of in terms of spending overall. They were at the luxury tax line, right? But, like, you know, I look at Denver this season, like, they're a pretty solid squad, right? But you know, it's not always perfect. But, like, you know, who was it? I just saw 51 win. Yeah, Phoenix Suns. Like, the Phoenix Suns were not in the luxury tax this season, but, you know, they won 51 games. This year, I think Denver. No, okay, Denver wasn't. Okay. But, like, Philly, for example, like, they were not in the luxury tax, and they were a quality team. The Cleveland Cavaliers in 2023-24, like, they're a very good team. They were not in the luxury tax. Like, basically, what I'm showing you, though, is that, like, two things can be true. Okay. Like, so if you want hope, like, for example, for you, Tyler, for example, like, if you're like, oh god, like, does this mean that the Bulls will never actually have does this mean that the Bulls will never have, like, any hope whatsoever? No, I don't want to say that. Well, what I'm saying, though, is that there's two things that can be true. One, Ryan Zorf is a shitty owner, and he will never spend into the luxury tax, even though when we should. Okay. Two, the front office that is currently employed, they've been given plenty of resources to actually make a good squad. They just have not done that, okay? So, I mean, for example, if you're wondering, the Dallas Mavericks this season, okay, this is the year that they went to the NBA Finals, okay? They were not a luxury tax team. They had Luka Doncic, they had Kyrie Irving, okay? And they did a good enough job, and, you know, props to Nico Harrison at this current moment in time. Or, sorry, is this, wait, yeah, this is the, wait, no, am I wrong? Yeah, this is the squad. And this is showing the previous year record. But like they went to the NBA Finals. Like they were totally fine. Hold on, am I tripping? Yeah, it was this year. This was last year. Okay, yeah. So I mean, like this year they went to the NBA Finals, and they were not a luxury tax team. They had a superstar, they had a co-star, and they had quality role players, and they were not a luxury tax team. Like they were fine. So like basically again, like my point is that you can make good teams without going to the luxury tax. So the Bulls front office has utterly failed at making a quality team with what they've had. With that being said, though, I am worried that when the Bulls may have a chance to go and get a superstar, or have a chance, or if they get a superstar and have a chance to keep him around, I don't know what the Bulls are going to be doing. I'm really concerned. That's going to be a major concern of mine. If you're wondering about this season, okay, Oklahoma City is not in the luxury tax this season. Okay, they're a very good team, right? Neither are the Spurs, and they're also a very good team. Neither is Detroit. Detroit is nowhere near the luxury tax. Like they have so much space before hitting the tax. And they're at the top of the Eastern Conference right now. Okay, the Bucks, like they're also a team that doesn't typically go into the tax. Like they've never been a team like that. But the year they won the championship, right? Like, I mean, they were barely into the tax. Like you can go and make teams without spending a heavy luxury tax bill. It's just, you know, we have thoughts. Actually, I did not know the Bucks actually paid a massive tax bill in 2023-24. I did not know that. That's yeah, this is much where I was assuming they were going to be. But yeah, I just, you know, it's just me. You know, I'm talking too much, but like, it's just so frustrating, man. Like I see these teams that are consistently in the luxury tax, and I'm like, oh wow, they're good teams. Like good team. Was supposed to be a good team until they messed it all up. This is a good team. This was a good team until Jason Tatum got injured, and they just won a championship. This was another team that's supposed to be a good team with an MVP. They have now Luka Doncic here. They just got Kevin Durant. You know, they got Kawhi Leonard and James Harden, and even the Orlando Magic, who are notoriously usually a small market squad or act like one, they're in the luxury tax this season. So yeah, LeBron got 14.5 from the Heat and 14 million to Boozer. Oh god. LeBron got 64 for the Heat. We gave 72.5 to 5 to Boozer. That's a 16 million a year for LeBron in the season. He's supposed to be our target, and 14.5 million per year for Boozer. Yep. We were 3 million under the cap, by the way. Were we really? We were 3 million under the cap that season. Yeah, that's pretty bullshit. What were the Heat that year? I guess we can't see that year, I guess, but like I'll go to 2011-12. Okay, like so like they were in the luxury tax like a little bit. I guess at the time this was a lot more because like 4 million back then was significantly more than it was now. But like, yeah, I guess they were just in it a little bit. I remember that we had all we had to do to get both LeBron, Wade, or Bosh. I don't remember which one was the second part of the deal LeBron wanted, was to get rid of Deng, and we weren't willing to do so. Yeah, we weren't willing to get rid of Luol Deng so that we could get LeBron and Wade. Yeah. Whoever's handling Detroit's contract needs to raise. Sheesh. Well, okay. Let me be clear about Detroit. They're gonna get expensive soon. Okay. They're right now at the benefit of that Ivy and Duran. They're currently on the rookie deals. Okay, now Kate Cunningham is his new max extension has kicked in already. Okay, so as you can see here, he's getting paid a shit ton of money, right? And deservedly so. I think this man's a superstar. However, when you look at their current cap situation, okay, Jalen Duran and Jaden Ivey, they're both going to be restricted free agents this upcoming summer. So we know with Duran specifically, like this guy's gonna get paid, assuming he's healthy for the rest of the season. This guy has played so well. He's their center of the future, arguably their co-star of the future, right? Like he is 100% getting paid. I would not be shocked if he gets the max. Now with Ivy, I won't lie, this is kind of where Detroit kind of lucked out in a sense. Like because of his injury history, like even if he comes back and plays well, like there's kind of this like whole like, well, he's missed a lot of time. They might actually save some money because of it. But either way, okay, just before we even get to talking about other contracts that they're gonna have to go and pay soon, which by the way, I mean, like they're in a great spot still, no matter what. But like before we even talk about like the Duran contract, okay, they're at $131 million in active cap, and the projected salary cap is 166. So now they won't have salary cap space, if you're wondering, because they would have to basically get rid of these cap holds, which would then make these guys unrestricted free agents, and that's not going to happen, right? Like you're going to make sure that these guys are restricted free agents because you're going to want to make sure you keep them. But what I'm telling you is that like the first apron is going to be like 210, like the luxury tax threshold. I'm going to have to bring up my my spreadsheet myself here. But the threshold, there's a projected number that I don't know off the top of my head that it keeps changing. I do apologize, but the threshold is 201. Hold on, let me see if there's another number of it right now. Sorry, hold on. Okay, yeah. So for now, Spot Track, if you're wondering, Spot Track's guess of the luxury tax threshold is 201. Okay. It looks like they've updated it to be the first apron 210,330. Okay, so that's new for me. So I gotta update this here. Okay. So, this is the tax threshold, which means that if you hit this number, you're in the luxury tax. Now, the first apron, this is important because if you use the non-taxpayer mid-level exception, if you use the biannual exception, if you acquire a player via sign and trade, if you use a trade exception from last season to acquire a player for this upcoming season, there's all these other rules. But basically, if you do certain things, you are then hard capped at the first apron. You're still in the luxury tax, okay? Because like, for example, you could be at 208 million for the next season, but the first apron is where you're hard cap, which means there is no way possible for you to go past that number. That's why that's important. But pretty much though, just to show for the Pistons, like they're in such a great spot because like, for example, let's say Duran gets like 40 million, okay? Then they're still at only 170 million, okay? The luxury tax, like I said, is 200 million. Let's just say 200 million, okay? They still have about 300 million or 30 million dollars still in space before they even hit the luxury tax. And that's with re-signing that's with re-signing Duran. I don't think Ivy's gonna get 30 million, but maybe he does. But then you still have like basically like a lot of the rest of your roster. Like Karis LeVert's starting a contract, so is Isaiah Stewart, Ron Holland starting his rookie deal. Like they have, Marcus Sasser. Like there's all these guys still, and Duncan Robinson's on a non-guaranteed deal. So if they even need to get rid of him, they can just waive him and only pay $2 million to him. Like they're in a great spot right now. And that's with a superstar and a potential other secondaries all-star like on max contracts. So like I said, it's very doable for the Bulls to do this. Like they can go and get some of these guys, or especially if they sign or draft somebody, like they can keep them. it's just like, are you going to be willing to spend the money to then help build around these guys correctly? And then once things get really expensive, because for example, like this is not going to be the most expensive we're going to see for Cade Cunningham. Like we're going to see him eventually get to $70 million a year, and even more than that. So are you willing to spend that though for Cade Cunningham when that time comes around? Because the unfortunate reality is that the salary cap projections continue to go lower and lower. Like these are projections for now, but these used to consistently go up by 10% every year. That's not happening now. They're a little bit lower. They're still going up, but it's not gonna be 10% every year. So, you know, these contracts now are more expensive because they're not going up every year, not like we projected to. So, that's gonna be the question for small market teams or the Chicago Bulls, is when these, you know, big contracts, like let's say we have a superstar, we drafted one. Once you get past like, because the first max contract is 25% of the salary cap, okay? That's the most you can get if you have 6 years or less of experience in the NBA. When a player hits 7 to 9 years, okay, they're eligible for 30% of the salary cap, and then if you hit 10 plus years, you're eligible for 35% of the salary cap, okay, and that's when it gets really expensive. So now Cade Cunningham, if you're wondering, he has had 30% of the salary cap because he hit certain thresholds to, as you can see here, the designated rookie language. So like, you know, usually rookie extensions are 25%, but if you hit certain thresholds, then you're eligible for 30% of salary cap. And Cade Cunningham has hit that. So that's why he's at 30%. But Supermax deals, if you're wondering, are at 35%. And then you can even get higher than that technically if you keep the player around. Like, for example, I'll show you Steph Curry. Like, I mean, this dude's making so much money. It's so funny to me. Like, this guy is at, currently right now, he's at 38.5% of salary cap because like he got the Supermax, right? And you know, he just continued just to get more and more money. And you just kind of go based off of that. Like it just kind of builds off, but like you can't really see it here. But like basically at this moment in time, I know this number looks lower now. Like this is like Zach LaVine contract, but at this moment in time, this was a super max, and then so you build off of that one, and then you get another like max of that extension. That's 38% of salary cap, and then he, you know, got another one and 37%. So it's just like it can go higher, basically what I'm saying. If that player's around for a while. By the way, if you're wondering about Steph Curry's career earnings, yeah, this dude has made a shit ton of money. Congrats to him. Miami 6 million over the cap. Make them 7 over. That's how the cookie crumbles. Oh, we're talking about the when they got the Heat initially together. Okay, so they weren't even in the tax that season, right? So they were just over the salary cap. They weren't even in the tax when they got LeBron, Bosh, and Wade together. Wade took a little bit of a pay cut. Clearly, he took. I know it doesn't sound like much, but like this was a little bit more back then. But like he took $500K off of his max, and then obviously everyone else is on much cheaper contracts. So that's how they did it. Yeah. So you can see here though that they were not in the luxury tax. It looks like. So. Yeah. Thank you all for coming to my TED Talk about what's wrong with the Bulls and luxury tax stuff. I know it's boring, but if you ever want to talk about it with me, I'm here. I can talk about this shit all night long, and like I've stayed up way too long now because I wanted to talk about it. But yeah, man. I mean, I don't want to call myself like this cap expert because like I'm still learning stuff like about the new CBA. Like once I got comfortable with the previous CBA, like there's always like new stuff coming up in the new CBA. I'm like, oh, I guess that's new to me. That's like something that I did not know was a clause or whatever. But yeah, I mean, like I have my own spreadsheet with this whole shit. Like, you know, I have the Bulls all projected out for their next season. And right now, for example, like here's my number. Like I only for the Bulls, like, if they're gonna keep both Ayo and Kobe White, like, and that means keeping their cap holes to keep their bird rights. Like I only have $35 million. Now again, you can get rid of these two right? You can get rid of these cap holds, but that means you're not going to be resigning these guys. And you would open up about $70 million in salary cap space, but like I don't think that's worth it. Especially for Io. Like, this man, to me, like, he needs to come back. So I mean, I've been saying that the Bulls, honestly, like, I think the Bulls should be offering him a contract extension right now that's like $15 million a year. Like, that's basically mid-level exception money for next season. So I'm like, all right, like, just offer him like a 3-year, $45 million deal or something like that. I doubt he accepts it. But like, let's say, like, if you somehow are miraculously able to get him to accept it, that's like a very, very team-friendly deal moving forward. And yes, I'm aware he comes off the bench, but he's a starter caliber player. But I'm gonna guess that if his agent was smart, and he was smart, he should be going and hitting unrestricted free agency and forcing the Bulls to pay him more. But if I'm the Bulls, I'm throwing that at him right now. Like, I'm saying, like, hey, you want 3 years, $45 million, or 4 years, $60 million? Like, yeah, we'll give you that right now. And hell, I might even be willing to give it $60 million a year. So, like, I might even willing to be going that far, because if, let's say, because again, Kobe's hitting unrestricted free agency, but like, let's say you do lose him, then if you sign Aya to extension now, then you're guaranteed to at least keep one of them. Okay. That does not mean that I'm saying that, oh, Aya's going to stay here for the long term. Like, he might not. Like, you might trade him later. But at the very least, then that means that you're not going to lose one or both of these guys in unrestricted free agency for nothing, right? So if Kobe happens to leave, right, then if Kobe happens just to leave, then you still have this guy. If you let's say you sign an extension for Io and then you re-sign Kobe also, that's fine too. Then like you can just trade Io later if you need to. But I want to have the insurance of keeping at least one of these guys, and you're not going to give an extension to this guy because his extension is too small. Because the most we can give him is 140% of his previous contract, which is only this much, so it doesn't result into that much money. That 24.5 projection for Kobe, I feel will get higher as the season progresses, or is that the max? Okay. So Thomas, get ready for what I'm about to tell you, because this is where things get complicated, okay? So, if you can see here, these are color-coded, okay? So purple is an estimate. For example, if the Bulls get the 12th overall pick in 2026, it's just an estimate of what their salary would be, okay? These blue numbers here that I have right now, these are called cap holds, okay? So when you go to Spot Track, for example, when a player becomes a free agent, whether they're restricted or unrestricted, okay, they have a cap hold placed onto them, okay? Are you with me so far, Thomas? Also pause ads. Are you with me so far? I'll explain what a cap hold is in a second, but I just want to make sure that you understand what this means. Yes. Okay. Cool. So this cap hold, if you're wondering, okay, this cap hold is basically the let's just use the Bulls here. This is the Bulls' way of retaining Kobe White's bird rights, okay? And if you don't know what bird rights are, bird rights basically give the team the ability to re-sign someone over the salary cap. So a player gets bird rights if they're on a team for 3 consecutive years. And once they are on the team for 3 consecutive years, you are allowed an exception, which is called bird rights, to then re-sign that player over the salary cap, okay? For this cap hold here for Kobe White, so we're talking about this $24.5 million, okay? This is a cap hold, a placeholder basically, of it's money that is just like you can't use this money. It's just kind of a placeholder, but it takes up salary cap space. Okay, so what I mean by that is when I go over here. So if you're wondering, okay, like Vucevic, Collins, Herter, they all would have cap holds as well. In this sort of instance, though, I have renounced their cap holds, which means that I've completely decided to get rid of them completely and said that we are not bringing you back. Therefore, I renounce your cap hold, I release your cap hold, and we would get the money that cap hold was holding. And therefore, Vucevic, Collins, and Herter, we lose their bird rights. So we cannot re-sign them over the salary cap then, okay? With Kobe, I want to make sure that I can still re-sign him over the salary cap. Therefore, I got to keep his cap hold if that's the case, because that's the only way I get to keep his bird rights. For me personally, I think Kobe's getting at least 30 million a year. I mean, at least that's what I think is going to happen. I could be wrong, but I think he's getting at least 30 million a year. If you're wondering why, it's because Kobe's going to be a 7-year vet. Therefore, the most he could get is 30% of the salary cap, which means that that's much more than Giddey could have gotten. Giddey could have only gotten 25% of the salary cap this last offseason. So Kobe's going to be trying to ask for more because the most he can get is more than what Giddey could have gotten. So I think he's going to be asking for 30 million a year, maybe more. So with that being said, though, you know, for the Bulls, right, I want to keep both these guys, but I want to keep them and make sure I have their bird rights to re-sign them over the salary cap. So the way to do this, though, is that right now, currently, as we stand, like, I got rid of Javon Carter, I got rid of Dalen Terry. You know, Kevin Huerter, for example, like, had I don't even know what it was. It was like $27 million cap hold. Yeah, like, Kevin Huerter has a $27 million cap hold. Like, that money is, like, I renounced that. That's gone. So they are unrestricted free agents with no bird rights right now. Well, let's say, for example, for the Bulls, right? They want to go and sign somebody with this $35 million. So, I don't know. I'm just making up a name, but just bear with me here. So, pretend this is not Kevin Huerter. Pretend this is a free agent. But they sign this free agent to $35 million, okay? I'll make this not blue just to help you visualize this, okay? So this is a free agent that is signed for $35 million. Now, the Bulls, right now, do not have any more cap space currently with these current cap holds in place. However, like we said, we expect that Kobe's going to want at least $30 million, and $24 million is not $30 million. But because we have bird rights on Kobe White, we are allowed to then re-sign him to a $30 million per year contract. And we are then allowed to then go ahead and go over the salary cap space. As you can see, this number went to negative, okay? So this is what this allows, okay? Like, I have to keep that cap hold for Kobe to allow us to go over the salary cap to re-sign him over the salary cap, okay? So, again, we sign a free agent for $35 million. Again, just hypothetical. We have no salary cap space left. And now we can go ahead and re-sign Kobe White. And now we're $5 million over the salary cap because of the Kobe White new contract, okay? And if you're wondering about Ayo, like, oh, we still haven't signed Ayo yet, don't worry. We can do the exact same thing. Like, we can just add in his contract and go over the salary cap again. The one worry, of course, is then the luxury tax, which, I mean, we know that we're not going into that. So we don't have to worry about that. Did that make sense, Thomas, of everything I just said, of why the cap hold's important and everything? Or give any questions, or are you confused, or did I explain it terribly? Let me know. I'm thinking 30 plus. I'm with you. Okay, good. Yeah, so I agree. It's gonna be 30 plus to me. If you just want to do just simple calculations, like, I mean, this I do this all the time, but like 30% of the salary cap. So again, it's gonna be 100. The estimate is $166 million. You just times that by, you times that by 0.3. So like, this would be the first year salary for Kobe White. The most he could get is $49.8 million. Okay. Would he get that? No. Right. He's not going to get this number. But he's going to fight for as much money as he can. Because he's going to be like, well, my max is basically $50 million. So I deserve more. I deserve $35 million or whatever. So Giddey could have gotten $38 million. We signed for $25. He gave me, yeah. So Giddey could have gotten $38 million. That was his first year max, and he signed for $25. Now, a reminder, he was restricted free agent, right? Giddey was restricted, so he is not just allowed to go anywhere he wants to. He has to, if he's gonna go somewhere else, he has to get an offer sheet, sign that, and then the Bulls the Bulls basically decline the match. If the Bulls decide to match at any point, then he just comes right back to the Bulls. So there's basically no reason for other teams to really invest because the Bulls are going to bring him back anyway. Hence why we were able to bargain the deal down, which is why I was totally fine with that. Like, I think Giddey was treated the best out of all the restricted free agents that were restricted free agents this past offseason. And yet Bulls fans want to say that he was treated terribly. I'm like, he got paid $100 million, guys. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, the other restricted free agents got either they took the qualifying offer or got two-year contracts that are non-guaranteed. So I personally think Giddey was treated totally fine. But in retrospect, right? Kobe sees, well, Giddey got 25 million. So what do you think? Do you think I'm better than Giddey, or do you value me more than Giddey? Well, I deserve 30 million, right? I'm also a 7-year vet. He's a 4-year vet. I deserve more money. So yeah, it's gonna be $30 million or more, at least in my opinion. What number? I'm not sure. I could definitely see 35 for Kobe. I know that sounds like a lot for some people, but again, like 30% of salary cap is 49.8 million. So like you kind of have to figure that part out of like, okay, well, if he signed for $35 million, right? Like it's 21% of the salary cap instead, or 20%. So it's like, it's not that unreasonable. You know, it's honestly not that bad. Like Giddey just signed for like, that's what, 16, 7, it's a little bit rounded, but like, yeah, it's like 16, 17%. So yeah, I think with the way the NBA is moving, it's not unreasonable, honestly. I don't think Giddey's gonna be that mad though. So yes, I understand it better now. Is the bird rights thing how they re-sign MJ at the end of his tenure? We're talking about in the second three-peat, because I heard another team was making a hard push for him at the time. We're talking about like the, you know, when he did the whole I'm back and played like 17 games or whatever, then that season, then kept going. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. Not doing any calculation, we will pay him. We won't get any other player to actually help us improve, and then we will move maybe a couple years down the road. I could definitely see it happening. I have info that I unfortunately just cannot say to you guys, but I wish I could. That's all I'm gonna say. I unfortunately, like, I genuinely cannot say any more, but like I have info on Kobe, but I can't say anything else. Sorry, I'm trying to respond to Thomas here. Like I'm assuming it's like when Jordan came back from baseball. On Kobe? Yeah, on Kobe, yes. Did the Knicks try to pursue him, or some team towards the end of his second three-peat? Had to remember off the top of my... Oh, at the end of the second three-peat. Oh. I couldn't tell you, unfortunately. Again, I was not alive for when that was happening, and I have not studied those books. I'm sure though that they probably, someone did. If you, sorry, I hold on. Oh wait, perfect. Okay, never mind. I can delay ads again. But pretty much though, you're right. Like, yeah, the only reason why they were able to retain Jordan is because of his bird rights. Because hold on. Actually, hold on. Let me double check that. Actually, hold on. Let me. All right, I'm pulling up the salary cap from that season. Come on. Here's the Bulls payroll. Here we go. This is Bulls payroll. Oh, sorry. Here's Bulls payroll. So 1998. Yeah, so the salary cap was 26.9. So in 1998, the salary cap was 26 million. But yeah, so basically though, the way the Bulls were able to keep him was basically via bird rights. Unless I could be wrong here. Oh, I need to double check this. Let me go to the year he came back officially, because that actually does matter. I might actually have to double check this. Hold on. Oh, this year. Okay, so it was $3.8 million that year when he came back, and then this was the first title of the second three. Okay, so actually, so it's different rules back then. So I could be completely wrong, but it seems like it was because of the bird rights. 123. Okay, yeah. So it had to be because of bird rights then. Because I was double checking this to see if it was just like was it like early bird rights or something like that. But like at the same time, again, the CBA was different back then, so like I can't give you a full answer. I don't know what the CBA rules were back then. Because like for example, the second apron that's in the CBA now was not in the previous CBA. So there's just all these rules that just kind of come in and out. So I guess I could, I might have to get back to you, Thomas. I might have to go searching into the 1996 or 98 CBA and kind of look and see what the rules were. But I'm gonna assume that it was bird rights because Larry Bird was for bird rights. That's why it's called bird rights. So yeah, it must be because of this, because that's a massive amount of money back then, of course. Let's see. Well, thank you. I appreciate this. Oh, okay. Yeah, we unfortunately we can't see, like, because usually what Spotrix says is like, oh, it's signed via this, and it's just like we can't see, unfortunately. But yeah, Gordon was 123% of the salary cap in 1997. That's great. Yeah. Scottie Pippen, by the way, here's his numbers. And he wasn't interested in playing with any other teammates or any other coach. He would either pay him or he would retire. He wouldn't leave. Okay, got it. Yeah, again, I was not alive, so. It was 96, Knicks won him bad. So I guess if we're talking about 96, then there's definitely a world where maybe that was possible, because the Bulls basically signed him to like the most they could in 96. But like I don't know how that I don't know how that worked out back then, because it wasn't that much money, but I don't know what it was. Like, was it bird rights? Was it like he retired? So like, I don't know if the Bulls got rid of those bird rights or how that would have worked, but or if they kept his cap hold until he just came back. Not sure. Yeah, huge shoe deal in his last 2 seasons. Yeah, so yeah, he got a shit ton of money in 97, 98, and deservedly so. Fox, by the way, how are you pulling this up? Like, how are you getting these previous years? Because like I can only go back here. Like, what are you doing? Are you just like typing this in? Like, are you just like typing in like, oh, you just changed this number, so like 93. Typing the season. Okay, got it. I appreciate that. Like, this was, for example, this was the first year that, this was the year that Jordan left. Like, he still had this cap hit on him. Okay. Honestly, it might have honestly just been the yeah, it actually might have just been bird rights, like straight up. Because it seemed like they kept his cap hold, which if you're wondering, by the way, teams actually just keep cap holds until they actually need to release them. So like it actually would not be that weird if like they just kept Jordan's cap hold the entire time, and then you just keep your bird rights. That's the reason he retired in '98. He wanted Phil and Sky to remain in the team no matter what. Kraus got the order for Rice to rebuild, and that was it. Yep. Could have had 7. Could have had 7. He's the best player in the league, was getting paid $4 million. I mean, like, that's this year it was 16% of salary cap, but like, you know, previous years it was like 20 something percent. So I guess back then it wasn't that weird, but it just shows obviously inflation, but like it also just shows how much the NBA has grown. You know, marketability and the amount of money it's coming in now, which is huge. Yeah, I think that, you know, I know a lot of people want to praise commissioners, but I really do want to always give the praise to the players for how much they've increased the game. Not just, you know, and I mean everything, but just like globally and what they've done. They've done a really good job. That's 3 I'm here, but do you think they could have won a 7th? I assuming that Jordan was at least kind of close to what he was in like his last season with the Bulls, which I mean that year was not the best for Jordan, like in terms of like efficiency wise. Like, it wasn't like the best, but like still, if you just look at the you know, in comparison to God, I just typed in Michael Jordan, the executive. When you look at in terms of like the rest of the league, like it was still obviously very, very good. It was still the best. Sorry, hold on. Show you. Hold on. So, yeah, like Jordan's still here at the top of the league in terms of points per game and everything. Like it is just kind of crazy just to look at if you're wondering. Like, here's like better instance of it where like, you know, the first three-peat or the first year, the second three-peat, like it was just more efficient overall. This year was definitely like he took a little bit of a dip. But if he was anywhere close to this, which I believe he would have been, like he would have been 35. His age 35 season, I think you win again. It would have been very, very difficult, but I think you win again. Like now you already had a target on your back in like, you know, the three-peat year, but like you're gonna have a massive target to stop you from getting a 4-peat. But I think you win again. But it could just be my, you know, like I'm obviously one of the people that says that Jordan's the GOAT. So I might just have bias, but again, I wasn't around for Jordan, so of course everyone's gonna be like, oh well, you didn't watch back then, and like I don't really care for that, but to me, I think you do win again. Oh, who knows? Wanted to defend their championship, that would be at least you could do for a team that gave you the 1-6 championships you ever had. Oh, for sure, yeah. The fact that Ryan Surf just didn't allow it is just stupid. Spurs would probably want to take it from the Bulls. It's a good shout. Yeah, the Spurs were very good. They deserved the championship that year for sure. But I don't know. I think I want to say that they do it, but I don't know. It'd be hard. It's hard to sell. Take into consideration the man played 82 games, 39 minutes per game at 34 after 2 seasons that they went all the way. Oh, I know. Like I'm not here to say that like the 98 season was like, you know, bad overall by Jordan. I'm just recognizing that, yo, like he has done so much and he has to continue doing that again after legitimately playing every single possible game. All these years, like I don't know, it's tough. It'd be so hard to win that 4th one in a row. It'd be so difficult. Mentally on his body, he's 35. Medicine wasn't what it is today. Like it'd be super tough. But I want to believe that they would have won the 4th. I want to believe, but yeah, I don't know. We will never know, unfortunately. With MJ, he was not just an assassin, he was one stubborn oh, bro, he was, yeah. He was absolutely stubborn. Because the thing I know, right, like, if MJ's playing in that 4th season, right, like, he has, again, it's, you know, the whole talk of, like, you know, Ryan Surf and Krause and everyone like that, like, if he needs any motivation, it's to shut those guys up. And to be like, yo, see, like, you guys are absolute flat out idiots for thinking that we need to rebuild right now. Like, he absolutely has that motivation. He's going to play all 82 games. Like, I know he will, even if he's not 100%. He's going to play all 82. He's not going to miss a playoff game unless he, like, absolutely breaks something. Like, I think he's going to be there to try to, he's going to do anything in his willpower to win it. But I just don't know if everyone else is going to be in the game mentally thinking like, oh, we got this another year. Like, mentally, like, physically, just, yeah, you played all 3 seasons, like, the entire way through like October through June, and now you have to mentally prepare yourself again to that with the target on your back and all the pressure on the world. Like, are you able to actually go and do it? I know Jordan's gonna do it. I just know about everyone else. And unfortunately, we can't win with just one person. So, I mean, with Scotty and his lower back issues, not MJ. Harper's knees were dusted too. Oh yeah, I mean, I forgot about Scotty's all his issues. Yeah. And Harper definitely was at that point was, yeah, he was dusted. On relatively healthy players were MJ, Dennis. That would be 37. That would be 37 Kukoc. Yeah, it would have been tough. Yeah. Physically, not sure. Yeah, relatively. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, I want to believe so, but there was that Spurs team that was coming, and that Spurs team was very good, led by a man named Tim Duncan. They're very good. David Robinson and co. So I don't know. Would have been tough. Oh, God. It's bro, I always just do this every now and then where I'm looking at just like I know win shares is not a good stat overall, but I'm looking at these, I'm just like, bro, like, oh my God. Jordan is just, his numbers just don't make any sense to me still. And I've looked at these numbers constantly, and I'm just like, oh God, man, like these numbers are just ridiculous. Even back then, like, I know the defense wasn't as good, and you know, there's all sorts of chitter chatter about what it was back then. Like, the players obviously weren't as good, but man, this dude is just you just look at these numbers, you're just like, yo, like God. They still owed them the chance to defend their championship if that was the player's wish. Win or lose, do it their way. Oh, for sure. Yeah, they absolutely deserve the chance, and they just, yep. Put a 9-9 Spurs roster and got jump scared by Budenholzer as an assistant. Oh, yeah. Yep. Budenholzer was part of the Popovich tree. I think people kind of forget that for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, he was part of that Popovich tree. There he is. I didn't appreciate the Spurs when they were still winning. Like, I started watching basketball in the 2013 year, so like I saw LeBron win his second championship, and I saw the Spurs win in 2014. But man, I didn't appreciate what that Spurs dynasty was at the time. Or you can argue if it was dynasty or not, but man, like, Tim Duncan was just so good. People just think so low of this man, and I don't know why. This guy was so good for such a long time. I wish I was able to watch him for longer, because I didn't really watch him like in his like prime years, but he was so good for such a long time. He deserves more praise from the NBA community, but people are like, no, like, can't do certain things. I'm like, yes, is Giannis Antetokounmpo as a player better than Tim Duncan? Yes. Like, in terms of greatness, like, Tim Duncan's just, he's up there, man. He's one of the best. Stability. They were at the finals like every other year. You gotta give it to them. One of the best franchises for 10 to 15 seasons. Yeah. I mean, how many seasons in a row did they make the playoffs, man? Like, they made the playoffs so many seasons in a row. It's just everything that you want in a franchise, pretty much. Like, you win 5 championships. Like, it's just insane what they did. It was over a long period of time, but they did it. Bro, look at this streak, man. Like, 98 in the playoffs. You made the playoffs every single year until 2018-19. Like, insane work by this franchise. Insane work. Oh yeah, this year, man. This year hurt me. Like, cause I appreciate the Spurs, man. This year hurt me. I remember this series went to 7. Oh my god. Like, the Spurs were up 3-1 in this series. Or no, were they not? Oh, I guess they weren't. My bad. I thought they were up 3-1. They were up 3-2, and they lost this series. I was just like, oh my god, I can't believe that they lost this series. I was so busy hating Miami, I overlooked San Antonio and Dallas. Oh, bro, same. Yeah, yeah. I was so busy hating on Miami as well. I didn't appreciate it what they were doing. 98 to 2019. Yeah, that's such a long time, man. Meanwhile, Bulls. Oh, God, it's rough. Oh yeah, it's time for bed. Yeah, sorry, I went on for a while. I wasn't planning on doing this, but I appreciate y'all chatting with me. I'm definitely very tired, as you can tell. So, but it is definitely time for bed. So, really quickly, we're gonna do a couple things here just to wrap this up. So, no Bulls game tomorrow. This is it's gonna be a day to watch NBA TV. If I think is it this game? I don't remember honestly. Which no, it's not. Oh, was it this one? Oh God, I don't remember. Anyway, games. There's gonna be one of these games on NBA TV. I don't remember which one it is though. So unfortunately, guys are out. So it's probably one of these 2 games, and guys are just out, which really sucks right now. That man needs to fix that. Next game though for the Bulls gonna be at home, so we're finally gonna be home from this West Coast trip. We are gonna be facing Miami Heat. Now, if you're wondering, the Heat are first in pace. They are first in points per game. So you're like, if you think this is gonna be like an easy, like, oh, we'll be fine. No, this is not. This is gonna be a tough game. So Bulls need to be prepared for high tempo offense and for them just to launch threes constantly. So be prepared. Bulls moved up to 7th in the standings now, or tied for 7th in the standings now with Philly. So some progress, I guess, made there, but this is gonna be a tough one. So we'll see if Kobe's gonna be available. I think it's important that Kobe plays in this one and not in the Washington game, but I don't know. Honestly, I think we'll see if we want to give Kobe 2 days of rest again and then play him, which means that he'll be playing in Washington or against Washington instead. So we'll be back to back. So let's see if how the Bulls do against Miami, and then they should be winning that Washington game. But I won't lie, I just don't know about this team anymore. Like, they almost blew it tonight, and like you should have won tonight convincingly. So I don't know, honestly. I'm honestly really concerned. So this is gonna be a potentially a nice preview to the play-in tournament. Woohoo! Yay! Because this happens every year with us, but we'll see. Miami is, I mean, they don't have Hero, but Norman Powell's been great. Their new offense has been really solid. So this again, there's no walk in the park. Be prepared. So I'll see you guys for 9:30 p.m. Post-game stream when that does happen. We'll see what happens. Miami, Chicago sees each other. Finally, we're the opponent. Yeah, playing classic. Yep. I cannot wait. What's it? Oh my God, Terra King, man. Unfortunately, you're checking in right when I'm ending stream, and it's 3 a.m. So, I'm sorry about the poor timing, but yeah, Bulls almost blew it tonight, and they honestly probably didn't deserve to win tonight for what happened, but wish hit the shot. So, they survived. They successfully failed. God, man, that game was awful. Yeah, we'll see what the Bulls do when they get back home. Bulls have been better at home, so we will see how this one goes. Crazy ending, yeah. Ring of Honor is Saturday. They might hold Kobe until then to have a better chance of winning. That, I mean, I guess you should just be beating Washington easily without Kobe, but I don't know. That's gonna be interesting to look at. I will say this for one thing for sure before we do end stream. Noah Senge, if he's not in the G League on Saturday, Noah Senge needs to play against the Wizards. There's just no excuse at this point. Like if you're not gonna play a Senge against the 1-win Wizards, then you're not gonna play him at all this season. So if a Senge's not in the G League and we're on Saturday, then you gotta play Senge against the Wizards. Like there's just no excuse. It's the second night of a back-to-back. You're not gonna play him against Miami, so he'll be fresh against the Wizards. You have to play him against the Wizards. I'll be pretty pissed if they don't. So be on the lookout. Let's see what the Bulls do there. Or you can just send them down to the G League, and that's totally fine as well. Just do that. That'd be totally fine. Yeah. Either way, though, I appreciate y'all. I sincerely do appreciate the conversation tonight. Yeah, this is an interesting night. It's great job with the win, but also like holy shit, you were so like it was such a bad game by the Bulls. It was just bad. So I don't know how to feel about this one, honestly. Any ability to yell at them, which he won't. Again, I appreciate y'all for tuning into the post-game stream. If you have not hit the like button yet, please do hit the like button. Helps me out a lot. If you're new to the channel, like Bulls content, please subscribe. I'm not gonna put in my link, but I will be saying that be on the lookout for a something from me from OnTap Sports that is not writing. So that should be coming out next week, eventually. So be on the lookout for that from me. I'll post it in my community tab when that is released. So I sincerely do appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for tonight and being a great community. And I'll be seeing you guys on Friday. All right. Hey guys, be safe. Have a good night. Peace.